We welcome you to Great Park in Irvine on this Thursday night. Aidan, Pham, and Sam Evans with you. The OC Riptide coming off that walk-off win last night take on the Philippines baseball group for the second time this summer. Well, Sam, we got to start with last night's game, and what a finish it was.
No, that was really cool stuff. That was a fun back and forth baseball game. The Riptide were down to their last strike at one point. Carter Dans with the big hit. And then no doubt about it, the hero for the Riptide, Justin Tiller, sends one over the head, Wright Crosby in center, and wins the game for the Riptide.
It's the first walk-off of the season. The Riptide improved to 3-3 overall, 2-3 in CCL play, but tonight they're playing a team who they lost to just a couple days ago, the Philippines baseball group, 1-2 coming into this one, and that game was kind of one where it was a little disappointing end for them. They led for most of it, and the Philippines continued to fight and ended up taking the 8-7 win.
No, it definitely felt like one where the Riptide were knocking on the door of blowing that game open, and they just couldn't execute, and they kept making sloppy plays defensively, couldn't get out of innings. Philippines stayed in the game, and when you let teams stay in the game at any level, eventually they're going to score a bunch of runs and take the lead.
So coming off a lot of momentum from last night, what's one thing you're going to be looking for today?
You know, I'd like to see how this lineup continues for the Riptide. I thought the lineup, which was a little bit of a unique lineup from Coach Evans last night, was really hot. They hit the ball really well, and you've got guys Justin Tiller, Brady Pettit, Carter Dans, Tyler Holland from that lineup yesterday, and then you got some guys who are getting opportunities who we haven't seen recently. Jimmy Zakar, Marcos Gonzalez, Grant MacArthur. So I think this is another opportunity to prove it for some of these guys who haven't gotten the playing time they maybe hoped for this summer.
Well, it should be an exciting one, and we'll take a quick break for the national anthem here at Great Park, the starting lineups when we come back. This is Riptide TV. Back here in Irvine, the first pitch just moments away, and we'll give you a look at the starting lineups for today's game. For the Philippines leading off, it's number 1, JJ Fagfumsint, the sophomore shortstop. Gavin Vanderpool in right field bats second, followed by Owen Stevenson, the senior second baseman, batting third. Hudson Story, sophomore first baseman, bats cleanup. Stephen Leo, Jonathan Torrente, and Javen Boxa, 5, 6, 7. 8 is Ethan Mercado, the junior behind the dish today. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Philippines is number 22, Tyler Prismanto in center field. For the Riptide defensive alignment, I'll toss it over to my broadcast partner, Sam.
So on the mound for the Riptide is the right-hander Tommy McGuire. The defense behind him from the left to right in the outfield, Luke Johnson in left, Camden Burdick in center. Carter Dan's getting his second straight start in right. Across the infield, Brady Pettit and Tyler Holland, left side. Marco Rosales at the Keystone, Grant MacArthur getting his first start in a couple days at first. Jimmy Zakar doing the catching for McGuire.
And Sam brought it up how this is another different lineup that Coach Evans has put out there. Riptide once again 2-3, looking for another big CCL win. As warming up is Tommy McGuire, the sophomore right-handed pitcher out of Grand Canyon University.
It's a four-pitch mix from McGuire. He's got a four-seam fastball that sits right about 90, cutter 83 to 85, and then sweeper and splitter, which he uses mostly to lefties. His first outing of the summer came on June 6th. He worked 4 innings, couple of hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. And the Riptide have a pretty thin bullpen today, only 2 arms available after McGuire. So if he can work deep into this game, that'll be a benefit for Orange County.
Riptide utilized 6 arms yesterday in that 8-7 walk-off win over the Malibu Marlins. As we're just set underway, JJ Pham sent to start things for the Philippines baseball group. He walks out there. It's going to be a righty against righty matchup to start the day for Tommy McGuire. Pham sent one quick breath and now into the right-handed batter's box. Tommy McGuire, blue long sleeves in, stares at his catcher today. That's Jimmy Zakar. Now gets set at the belt, kicks and deals. Misses high for ball 1. Philippines coming off a 17-4 loss on Sunday to Arroyo Seco, looking for a bounce-back game here. That was a game where the Philippines batters struck out a combined 11 times. 1-0 pitch. Misses low, 2 balls and no strikes to start against Pham.
We've seen these Riptide pitchers strike out a lot of batters so far this season, over 11 K per 9 for the entire staff. So we'll see if that can keep going for Orange County tonight.
2-0 pitch. Lined into left field, a base hit for JJ Pham to start the day for the Philippines. So Pham singles to left. He's aboard first, and here comes Gavin Vanderpool.
Vanderpool drove in the winning run in the 9th inning against the Riptide. The last time these two teams met, he came off the bench as a pinch hitter. Clutch RBI for him.
Yeah, 1-for-1 with an RBI back on Saturday. With the runner on first, he stares at a pitch, miss away for ball 1. Riptide pitchers had a good day against the Philippines in their first meeting, 15 strikeouts. Looking for another good performance today from the pitching staff. Vanderpool, lefty on righty matchup here. Red gloves with a wood bat. Lines one, this one into right field. A single. It's bobbled by Dans for a moment, but he has control as runners on first and second with no outs here in the top of the first.
Sort of exactly what you didn't want after Tommy McGuire and Coach Evans. You really needed length today, and McGuire having the first 2 guys reach, not what you want to have. And pretty hard hit balls both times too.
Yeah, and Sam, you brought it up. Just 3 arms expected to be pitching today for the Riptide. Some of these guys are going to have to be stretched out a little bit. Not the start Tommy McGuire would have wanted with runners on first and second and no outs. Here is Owen Stevenson, senior in second base, after a quick mound visit from Jimmy Zakar. Stevenson played at Kentucky Wesleyan College this year. First pitch he sees low, picked up by Zakar, quickly pops up and tosses it back to McGuire. 1-0 the count. Stevenson 0 for 3 on Saturday against the Riptide. Scored 1 run, but also struck out once. McGuire set at the belt, peeks at second, heaves it home, fouled right back. 1-1 the count.
big pitch here from McGuire. You talk about trying to win those 1-1s and go to 1-2, not 2-1 if you're on the pitching staff. And he hasn't really gotten ahead of a hitter so far. It'd be big to do so right here.
Pham sent on second, Vanderpool on first, being held by MacArthur there. The 1-1 pitch misses inside, and it got a piece of Stevenson. Bases are loaded now with no outs for Hudson Story.
That's been a problem for McGuire. He hit a batter every 5 innings last year for Cypress College, which really adds up. That's almost 2 for every 9 innings you throw, and rears its head here. It's been a problem for the Riptide and a problem for McGuire.
Well, the Riptide find themselves in trouble early. The bases are juiced for Hudson Story, a guy who bat .341 this past year at Los Angeles Mission with 4 home runs, 31 RBIs. Here he is looking to give the Philippines the early lead in this ball game. Orange bat with pink and yellow gloves. McGuire misses away for ball 1. Wind in center field, slightly blowing towards left field.
First time we've really seen that. It's been blowing left to right for most of the summer.
The 1-0 from McGuire paints the edge of the zone for strike 1. Hudson Story 0 for 3 with 2 RBIs against the Riptide on Saturday. Also struck out.
Does have 2 RBIs so far this summer, but looking for his first hit in CCL play.
Story gets set, gets the sign, and the 1-1 pitch into the opposite batter's box. A nice grab by Zakar. So McGuire having a little trouble finding the zone early in this ball game, has allowed 2 singles and just hit a batter.
0 for 3 on those 1-1 pitches we talked about. All 3 times he's faced a 1-1. It's gone to 2-1 in the batter's favor.
McGuire made 19 appearances this year, had 1 start at Cypress College. Looking to get out of this jam here. 2-1 swing and a miss from Hudson Story. Evens up the count 2-2 here. McGuire in his 2nd summer with the Riptide. Spent this past year at Cypress College, is transferring to Grand Canyon University in the fall. Trying to get the first strikeout of the day for the Riptide here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded. The pitch got the first strikeout. Hudson Story, fans right through that pitch. 1 out here in the top of the 1st.
It's a huge pitch there for McGuire, and all of a sudden you're a double play away from getting out of this inning without allowing any runs. So great pitch from McGuire, way to battle back.
Here's Stephen Leo, the senior designated hitter in this Philippines lineup. Stevenson on first, Vanderpool on second, and Pham sent just 90 feet from the plate. McGuire, ground ball right towards Rosales, picked up, fired to Holland at second. The turn to first in time. Riptide get the double play, get out of this jam, and we head to the bottom of the 1st. The first look at the Riptide lineup today. Back from Great Park, it's the bottom of the first inning. The bases were loaded for the Philippines, but a double play got them out of it. Now the lineup for the Riptide coming up, starting with Luke Johnson in left field, leading things off. Justin Tiller bats second. Brady Pettit bats third. Carter Dans in cleanup. Grant MacArthur, Tyler Holland, and Marco Rosales all starting today. They are 5, 6, and 7. Jimmy Zakar, another start for him. The senior catcher bats 8th, followed by Cam Burdick out there in center field, batting 9th.
For the Philippines defense, in the outfield, Jonathan Torrente, Tyler Prismanto, Gavin Vanderpool. Left, right, the infield, Javen Boxa, JJ Fag from Cent, Owen Stevenson, Hudson Story, Ethan Mercado doing the catching for Franco Moran, the right-handed starter out of Skyline College.
Philippines had 2 hits in the top of the first. Riptide are going to look for a hot start here today, where last night it was kind of a rough start for them. Luke Johnson now a righty facing the righty Franco Moran, sophomore right-handed pitcher out of Skyline. Fastball in the zone for strike 1, 0-1 to start the day against Luke Johnson out of Cornell. Johnson gets set. Moran with the tan glove in front of his chest, kicks and deals. Misses low for ball 1. Luke Johnson out of Cornell, bat .222 this past year, had 4 bombs with 10 RBIs. Started in the lineup on Sunday against the Waves. Here he is looking for the first hit of the day for the Riptide. This one misses away for ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike now against Luke Johnson.
Struck out 3 times in that game, and 2 of them were called looking. He was not happy with the home plate umpire. He said his conversation was certainly not suitable for air.
2-1 pitch. Fly ball out towards center field and drops for a base hit. Luke Johnson has the first hit of the afternoon for the Riptide. So just to start you want if you're the Riptide from Luke Johnson.
Just like the Philippines, jumping ahead in the count, got a liner and found grass. Great piece of hit in there for Johnson.
And here's Justin Tiller as Omaha, the bat dog, has a little trouble retrieving the bat and gets some help, and now we're set to resume play. Justin Tiller, like we talked about at the top of the broadcast, had that walk-off hit into center field over Crosby's head that cashed in Carter Dans. This pitch misses behind Tiller. Runner takes off. That's Johnson. He's aboard second. Maybe thought about going for third for a moment. But a runner in scoring position nonetheless for Justin Tiller here.
I think he might have had a chance to get to third. That ball was dropped by Mercado behind the plate, but just stays at second, like you said, in scoring position for a big bat of Justin Tiller.
Set a program record at Cypress College this year for RBIs, had 81 there. 1-2-1-0 pitch. Fouled straight back towards the on-deck circle for the Riptide.
Also 22 home runs for the Chargers as well, which was a single-season record just like his RBIs.
A phenomenal season at Cypress College. A dangerous batter in this lineup. The 1-1. Right down the middle for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now against Justin Tiller. Trying to score Luke Johnson over there at second. Tiller bat .379 with Cypress College this past year. White gloves, wood bat. Takes a pitch low for ball 2. Against the Marlins, last night was 2 for 4 with an RBI.
Like, not just a RBI, the RBI that won the ball game.
Franco Moran gets set. A look back at second. Runner takes off. Pitches high. The throw. Not in time. Luke Johnson reaches third safely. Just 90 feet away from home now with a full count against Justin Tiller. Tiller stares in and ground ball left side. Scooped up by Pham. High throw to first to Story in time, but the run scores. Riptide the early 1-0 lead.
Nice job there from Justin Tiller. 2-strike count, just did exactly what he needed to do, took advantage. Runner 90 feet away, less than 2 outs. You always talk about putting the ball in play and making something happen, and Tiller did just that.
Riptide lead 1-0 here, and it continues with Brady Pettit, 1 out. Franco Moran out of Skyline made 16 appearances this year. First pitch misses high to Pettit. 1-1 record for Moran. Started in 1 game. The pitch, swing and a miss from Pettit.
Pettit made his season debut for the Riptide last night, went 0 for 3, couple of walks, but grounded into a big double play in the 10th inning. Can make up for it here.
1-1. Misses the zone. 2-1 the count now against Brady Pettit, coming off his true freshman season at St. Mary's, batting .423. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Swing and a miss from Brady Pettit. A good pitch from Moran, and Pettit down to his last strike here. Moran gets set, has a tan glove, now fires home and misses high. A full count now against Brady Pettit. It's the second batter in a row that has faced a full count against Moran.
Both of them worked from behind to get to that full count, doing a good job of driving up the pitch count for Moran.
3-2 pitch. Ball 4, and Brady Pettit gets aboard with the walk.
Quite a good job of working counts. He walked twice yesterday in his first 2 plate appearances and does it again here.
And here's Carter Dans, also a newcomer to this Riptide roster. Also one of those guys who made his first appearance yesterday against the Marlins, was 2 for 5, an RBI, and 2 runs scored, one of them being the game winner. He waves and misses to this pitch from Moran.
I think he had the at-bat of the season in the 10th inning. He fell behind, battled back, took a couple of very close pitches before singling in the tying run, and like you said, raced around the bases to win the game.
0-1 called strike 2 on the outside half of the plate. 0-2 now faces Carter Dans. And the Riptide, that was a game where they committed 6 errors defensively. We'll look to clean that up, but at bat at the moment. The 0-2 check swing didn't go around. 1 ball, 2 strikes now against Dans.
Dans did strike out 3 times yesterday, so I think a lot of positives for him in his debut, but definitely want to clean up on those strikeout numbers.
Also a two-way player out of Northwestern University. 1-2, scorched back foul by Carter Dans. Dans in the lineup today, starting in right field.
Played left field yesterday and moved across to the other side to let Luke Johnson get the start in left.
The 1-2 pitch, low and in. Pettit thought about taking off at first, retreats back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner on first with 1 out here against Carter Dans. Steps out for a moment, now taps the plate with the wood bat. Fixes his helmet with the left hand and now settles it next to his left ear. Sent back foul once again by Carter Dans. Redo things here at 2-2. Dans didn't play in the outfield too much at Northwestern this year. Just 1 start. That was in left field. Made 12 appearances in total for Northwestern as he scorches this one fair down the first base line. Pettit rounds third, headed for home. The throw is to third. Sliding play is safe. Pettit scores. Riptide the 2-0 lead. And Carter Dans is safe. He's aboard third.
Talk about making an impression there. Great piece of hitting in that just so fast. He uses his 6'3" frame to speed around the base pass and a great slide. I think that throw beat him, but he got around the tag there from Jaden Boxa.
Still one out. Riptide lead 2-0. It's the bottom of the first, facing the Philippines baseball group. Here's Grant MacArthur. Takes a strike at the top of the zone. 0-1 here against MacArthur. MacArthur, the righty, faces the righty Moran. His 0-1 pitch sent foul on the right side. MacArthur out of Yukon, a senior infielder.
This is another situation here where you talk about runner on third, less than 2 out, just down to 2 strikes, but trying to battle and make sure you get this run home.
A big strikeout here if he can get it for Moran. 0-2, lifted high in the air out towards right field. Vanderpool's there. The tag from third. Throw. Got him! Mercado made a nice play at home. Gets the tag on Carter Dans. A big throw out in right field from Vanderpool. Riptide, though, lead 2-0. Headed to the top of the second. Top of the second inning here in Irvine. Riptide a 2-0 lead over the Philippines. Jonathan Torrente, Javen Boxa, and Ethan Mercado due up for the Philippines in this inning. First pitch from McGuire slides right by Zakar. No harm done as nobody's on. 1-0 the count to start against Torrente. Riptide, after the first inning of Saturday's game, led 3-0. They led 4-0 at one point, 7-4, but ended up losing that game after a good effort down the line from the Philippines, as this one drops in there for strike one.
I think both teams will be feeling like they left runs on the table. The Philippines had the bases loaded, no outs, and the Riptide got out of it. And then whenever you fly into a play, certainly feels like you could have scored more runs for the Riptide as well.
Riptide lead 2-0, but obviously not content with that, as the pitch opposite batter's box for ball 2. And that was something Coach Evans talked about yesterday post-game, where he wants to see them do a better job at closing games out. It's nice to lead, but you also got to be able to finish. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody on, no outs. The pitch, lower outside corner for strike 2.
And that's one thing we haven't seen the Riptide do, is protect a sort of slim lead. Their 2 wins came in blowout fashion, and so they haven't been able to, keep a lead that was 5-4, say, for a couple innings in a row.
2-2 pitch, low from Tommy McGuire, and a full count now against Torrente. Torrente was 0 for 1 on Saturday against the Riptide. McGuire gets set at the belt, kicks, deals, misses away for ball 4. It's the first walk issued by McGuire, and Torrente takes first.
It's a really tough time to hit right now with the way that the shadows are coming across. The ball's going to go from sun to shade multiple times as it comes from the pitcher's hand towards home plate.
Here's Javen Boxa. No outs, Torrente on first. Riptide lead 2-0. Philippines trying to respond here. Torrente takes a pitch up and in, twists out of the way. Boxa played this year at College of the Desert. 38 games played there, 365 batting average. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss from Boxa.
Jumps off the page for me with Boxa. 18 walks to 23 strikeouts while he was there. It's part of why he was able to put up a 460 on base percentage. Whenever you're able to walk about as much as you're striking out, you're doing a really good job.
Torrente on first here for the Philippines, stole 8 bases this past season. This one a one-hopper to Pettit, throw to second to Rosales, the turn to first, gets the double play. The second double play in 2 innings for the Riptide, and just like that, there's 2 outs with Ethan Mercado stepping up to the plate.
That was very clinical, the old 5-4-3 around the horn. Brady Pettit doing a nice job on the short hop, Marco Rosales doing his job, and nice play from Grant MacArthur, who hasn't gotten a lot of action this season at first base. Made a nice scoop to get that second out.
1 out away from getting out of this inning. This is Ethan Mercado, junior catcher. Misses inside is McGuire against Ethan Mercado of Los Angeles Pierce College. McGuire stares in, gets the sign, now fires the pitch. Fastball, strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on. It's the top of the second inning. Riptide a 2-0 lead. McGuire, the 1-1 pitch. Waves and misses is Mercado. Mercado against the Riptide was 0 for 3 in that last game. Had 1 walk but struck out twice. Down in the count here, 1-2. McGuire the pitch. Sent back foul by Ethan Mercado, who had a 137 batting average this year with Los Angeles Pierce. Righty on righty matchup here. Mercado waves that black bat next to his right ear. Pitch misses low and it skips out of the glove of Zakar. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. 1 out away from getting out of this inning after the 5-4-3 double play from the Riptide defense. Mercado with black arm sleeves on. As McGuire gets set at the belt. Leg kick and deals. Called strike 3. The second strikeout of the night for the Riptide. And we head to the bottom of the second. Riptide a 2-0 lead. This is Riptide TV. Back here at Great Park, Riptide lead 2-0, looking to add on Tyler Holland to start things off for Orange County in this inning. Riptide a double play and a strikeout from Tommy McGuire back in the top of this inning. Here's Tyler Holland out of Arkansas. Takes a pitch that just misses high for ball 1.
Had a big day yesterday. Couple of doubles, couple RBIs, couple runs too in that win. It was a big part of it.
The 1-0 lifted in the air out towards center field. Prismantos there squeezes the glove, 1 away here in the bottom of the second. So Holland is retired, and here's Marco Rosales, a guy who bat .246 at Cal State Fullerton this year, had 1 hit against the Bombers the other day, but it feels like he's looking to get things started here with the Riptide this summer.
No, for sure. He OPS'd over 800 for Cal State Fullerton, had 6 home runs, so he's got a lot of power in his bat.
Takes a first pitch that drops in the zone for strike 1 is Marco Rosales, redshirt sophomore, starting at second base today for the Riptide. Oh, 1 pitch. Misses inside for ball 1. Rosales against the Bombers back on Tuesday was 1 for 5, also scored a run. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The pitch gets the upper outside corner of the zone for strike 2. Rosales here steps out, takes a big breath, adjusts his blue cap with his right arm, and now awaits the 1-2 pitch from Franco Moran back out there for another innings of work. 1-2 pitch. Misses inside. Rosales leans back, evens up the count at 2-2 here. 6 home runs this year for Rosales with 28 RBIs with the Titans. The 2-2. Called ball 3. A full count now faces Rosales.
Another good job of Riptide hitters to work their way from a 2-strike count into a full count.
Righty on righty matchup here between Moran and Rosales. The pitch misses away. It actually flew by the glove of Mercado, but it's a walk regardless for Marco Rosales. So he's aboard for the first time, and here comes Jimmy Zakar. Zakar played at UC Santa Barbara this year, is in the transfer portal, making his second start for the OC Riptide tonight. Digs into the right-handed batter's box. Moran checks over to first, got by Story for a moment, but picked it up as Rosales laid his foot back on the bag, and he's safe. Rosales just stole 1 base this year at Cal State Fullerton. First pitch to Zakar misses low, 1 ball and no strikes. And this is something to keep an eye out. I was talking to assistant coach Grant Mayu, and he told me how a big emphasis this summer has been the base running for the Riptide. They want to see the guys be more aggressive on the base paths, as the pitch misses away for ball 2. And so far, I think we've seen that.
No, for sure. Their base running aggressiveness has been really up there. I think the whole league in the CCL has been really incredibly aggressive on the base path. They're almost daring catchers to throw them out at all times.
2-0 pitch. Drops in for strike 1 against Jimmy Zakar. Had 2 at-bats this year at UC Santa Barbara, recorded 1 hit. Was 0 for 4 against the Waves on Sunday. Right down the heart of the plate for strike 2 from Franco Moran, the sophomore right-handed pitcher out of Skyline. 17 strikeouts this year for Moran there. The 2-2 pitch. Sent back foul by Jimmy Zakar. Zakar was walked once on Sunday, but also struck out 3 times.
No, and in another 2-strike count here, strikeouts have sort of been a problem for Zakar wherever he goes. Looking to avoid it here.
Runner on first is Marco Rosales. Zakar got a piece of it with the end of his bat to stay alive here, or rather, it's a strikeout from Franco Moran, the first from the sophomore right-handed pitcher out of Skyline. Retires Zakar, and here comes Cam Burdick.
Tough one there for Zakar. It was a really nice slider that worked well away from him, and good pitch from Moran.
2 outs here for Cam Burdick. Gets the zone for strike 1 is Franco Moran, who gave up 2 runs to the Riptide back in the first, with a runner on first here in Rosales. One for Marco Rosales.
I think that was more of a wild pitch, or if it was a delayed steal. If so, that one bounced in the dirt, and then Rosales went. Not sure whether that was a stolen base, but it looks like they're giving Rosales credit for one.
1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs here against Cam Burdick. Burdick out of Cal State Fullerton, runner in scoring position. That's Rosales. He sends a ground ball left side, scooped up by Pham. Sint delivers the throw to first in time. So the Riptide leave a runner stranded. We head to the top of the third, where the Philippines look to cut into this lead. Top of the third here in Irvine. Riptide a 2-0 lead over the Philippines baseball group. The second meeting between these two programs this summer. 2 hits so far for the Riptide and 2 for the Philippines. Here's Tyler Prismonto facing Tommy McGuire back out there. Lays down the bunt, pulls it back, but it's called strike 1.
Those 2 hits for the Philippines came on the first 2 batters of the game, and they're going to be the next 2 guys up here after Prismonto, so we'll see if McGuire's made some adjustments.
Black bat held by those white gloves. The 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike against Prismonto, who was 0 for 3 with a walk and run scored on Saturday against the Riptide. Glove pinned in front of his belt now, delivers and gets a swing and a miss with a breaking ball there. 1-2 the count now. McGuire ahead in the count. Top of the third, Riptide a 2-0 lead. McGuire, the 1-2 pitch. Sent into left field and it drops fair. Headed for second is Prismonto, and it looked for a moment that Johnson out there in left field thought it was going to go foul, but the call made by the umpire at third base threw reins, and a double for Prismonto.
Definitely a frustrating one there from McGuire. He was ahead, 2 strikes in the count, and left one over the heart of the plate and just kept it fair, was able to stay back on the off speed. Now you've got the top of the order who's gives you a lot of trouble the first time through.
And Prismanto was rounding first, kind of hesitated there, didn't know if he thought it was also going to go fair, but he's in scoring position at second base for the top of the lineup, and JJ Pham drills this one into left center. Burdick's there to make the grab.
You know, that play looked easy for Camden Burdick, but I think that was a really nice play. He got a really good jump on that ball, made that play look a lot easier. I think a lot of other center fielders would have had to dive for that ball because he got such a great jump on it.
Riptide defense so far today has done a nice job through 2 1/3 innings. That's 3 hits so far for the Philippines tonight. Vanderpool had one back in the first. Takes strike 1 from McGuire. McGuire pitched against the Foresters. 4 innings there, 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. It was a scoreless outing for him. Prismanto on second. Vanderpool. The 0-1 pitch. Right back to McGuire. Gets it. Fires to first. It's over the head of Pettit. Runner takes off. That's Prismanto. Easily scores. And the Philippines cut into the Riptide lead. It's now 2-1.
Now that was a bit of a mental error there from McGuire. He made a nice play to grab that ball, and he should have just taken easy at it first. You would have had 2 outs, runner on third, trust yourself to get Stevenson out. Instead, he tried to get the lead runner, and instead, runner in scoring position again, and a 2-1 ball game now.
It's the first error of the game for the Riptide. Leads to a run scoring. Runner on second now in Vanderpool. And here's Owen Stevenson. Chops one a high bounce to third. Stays fair. Rather, it's foul. Pettit had a bad read on it. It bounced off of his foot, and it leads to a runner getting aboard and Owen Stevenson at first.
That was going to be a tough play there regardless for Brady Pettit. And at least the positive for the Riptide, Gavin Vanderpool couldn't advance, and so it's effectively a walk as Brian Evans comes to the mound here to talk things over with McGuire, who's gotten a little bit out of control this inning.
Brian Evans, first-year head coach of the OC Riptide, spent the previous 2 summers as the pitching coach. Out there for a mound visit, the entire infield comes in, so does the car. And McGuire was in some trouble in the first and kind of second inning, but those double plays were big for the Riptide.
Be a great time for another double play right here. And I think what the Riptide have done well today is, for the most part, they've played fundamental baseball. Those double plays were easy, routine, tailor-made double plays, and they haven't had an opportunity for that this inning. And McGuire was trying to make, I think, a little too much happen on that error, and just, if you're smart, take the easy out, and you'd probably be out of this inning.
Instead, it's runners on first and second. Vanderpool on second, Stevenson on first for Hudson Story. Story struck out in his first appearance tonight. For 2 outs, here is Story as he misses away for ball 1. Story hit 4 home runs this year with 31 RBIs. McGuire gets set, a look back at second, now home. The 1-0 pitch as he doesn't release and steps off the mound. And for McGuire here, you got to be thinking, you got the double play opportunity with a runner on first, but more importantly, it's 1 pitch at a time. The 1-0. Inside for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike and 1 out. Runners on first and second. Here in the top of the third, Riptide 2-1.
McGuire seemed a little preoccupied with Vanderpool on second. I think he just needs to focus on Story at the plate.
He goes to second, diving back head first, safe. A close play there at second, it kind of looked like.
Yeah, I think he might have gotten hosed there. He almost made me take my words back. I think he potentially would have picked off Vanderpool and taken care of the runner there, but instead Vanderpool's back safely, just a little dirty.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 runners on for Hudson Story. Awaiting the pitch from McGuire, who is really concerned with Vanderpool over there at second.
I just worry with those. You've already seen McGuire throw the ball away once, and it's so easy to throw the ball away to second because you're spinning back. It's not a throw you're as used to making, and then you could have both runners in scoring position.
1-1, big cut and miss from Story. May have got a piece of the ball, but it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now against the sophomore first baseman.
What's the deal here? He's already struck out once, and he's the beer batter. Do you get extra discount? Does it stack on top of each other?
You know, I think it does. It is a promotion night here at Great Park. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, gets the strikeout there. 2 outs now, top of the third.
Big out there from McGuire. The second time he's gotten Story in a big spot, and now just one more pitch from getting out of this inning, still with a lead.
Here's Stefan Leo, who hit into that double play back in the first. 1 out here. Riptide, a 1-run lead over the Philippines. Stefan Leo out of Holy Family. Played in 39 games as he waves and misses through this one. Started in 32 of them.
Old. He's born in 2000, which makes him older than any Riptide player on the roster.
The 0-1 pitch. Fouled back, 0-2 now. And for McGuire, I think the error in this inning and how it's not gone your way, if you can get the out here, it would be huge to just leave with allowing 1 run.
No, for sure. Certainly it would be good to leave the game still with the lead, or leave the inning still with the lead.
Just 3 arms hot tonight for the Riptide. The 0-2 pitch lifted and it twists foul on the right side behind the Philippines bullpen. Redo things here at 0-2. Leo trying to get a board here for the Philippines, who are down by 1 run. It's the top of the third. Vanderpool at second, Stevenson at first. McGuire, a look back at second. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for Tommy McGuire. Gets out of this inning, and to the home half of the third we go. Bottom of the third here in Irvine, Aidan, Pham, and Sam Evans with you. Riptide lead 2-1 after the Philippines were able to score one in the top of this inning. Top of the lineup here for the Riptide, facing Franco Moran back out there. It's Luke Johnson now. Leans back on a pitch up and in for ball one. Johnson now facing Moran for the second time tonight.
Singled his first time and came around to score, stole a base in the midst of that, so a productive trip around the base pass for Johnson.
Moran gets Johnson fishing on that one for strike one. Johnson back on Sunday was 0 for 4, struck out 3 times. Sam, you talked about how it was kind of a frustrating day for him. Already has a hit and a stolen base tonight. 1-1 pitch. Low for ball 2.
No, he seemed like he was in pretty good spirits about it. He was laughing and joking about it with me pregame, so didn't seem to be too bothered anymore, and certainly playing free tonight.
Here he is facing a 2-1 count ahead of Moran. Moran deals, and it's high for ball 3. Franco Moran has given up just 2 runs with 2 hits to the Riptide. Some work to do here, down 3-1. The pitch hits Luke Johnson on the left leg, and now he reaches first, kind of threw his stuff back towards the Riptide, maybe a little frustrated there.
Well, he was already in a 3-ball count, so he didn't need to get hit for the free pass to first base, but instead he does get sent there via the hit by pitch, not the walk.
So with no outs, Luke Johnson's on first for Justin Tiller here, who grounded the short in his first plate appearance. Tiller takes one high for ball 1.
That ground out, though, at least did score a run. Johnson had advanced to third on a wild pitch and a stolen base, so Tiller does have an RBI on that ground out.
The 1-0, big swing and a miss here from Justin Tiller. Luke Johnson on first, though 3 bases this year at Cornell. Already has 1 tonight. Tiller looking for his first hit of the game and lifts one back foul on the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes now with no out. Johnson on first for the Riptide, trying to extend their lead here. Moran gets set in front of his chest. The pitch misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes with no outs here against Justin Tiller.
Confident take there from Tiller. That one did not miss by much.
Tiller, one of the 2 lefties in this lineup, facing the righty Moran. Now faces a full count now.
It's the second straight time he's gotten down in the count 1-2 and worked it way full. We'll see if he can get a base hit this time.
Runner on first, 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. It's the bottom of the third, Riptide 2-1. This one sent out into left field. Racing back is Torrenti, unable to make the grab. Racing around second is Johnson, slides in safely at third. A double. We'll see what it goes down as, but it was well hit, and it goes down as an error on the Philippines. Torrente out there in left field.
It's a tough play, but certainly one that Torrente should have made. That ball hit his glove on the fly.
So runners on second and third. Justin Tiller takes advantage of the error. Now Brady Pettit looking to drive some runs in. Already was walked, came around to score back in the first. Takes one low from Moran. 1 ball, no strikes.
Corners in here for the Philippines with Pettit at the plate, but the middle infield still deep. They're willing to concede a run if they ground it to either the shortstop or the second baseman.
The 1-0 low once again from Moran. Now 2 balls, no strikes against Brady Pettit. A true freshman this year at St. Mary's hit his first collegiate home run against Gonzaga.
Pettit was late joining the Riptide because the Gales were off playing in the college baseball playoffs. Just fell short of the World Series.
Low and away from Pettit. Now 3 straight balls from Franco Moran with runners on second and third. No outs here in the bottom of the third with the Riptide leading 2-1. Moran gets set, fires the 3-0. Scoots out of the glove of Mercado, able to pick it up quickly. Runners stay put.
Was able to get the call for the strike despite the fact that Mercado couldn't glove the ball. So kind of a tough one there for Pettit. I feel like a lot of times you see when a catcher doesn't make the catch, that ball gets called a ball.
3 balls, 1 strike against Brady Pettit here. The pitch. Sent foul towards the parking lot here at Great Park. Full count now against Brady Pettit. Moran 3 straight balls to start this at bat against Pettit, but since then has gotten himself back in it. No outs, bottom of the third. Runners on second and third for the Riptide. The pitch softly hit on the left side, scooped up by Pham, sent throw to first in time, but Johnson scores. So the Riptide extend their lead 3-1 here.
Nice piece of aggressive base running there from Justin Tiller. You know, usually the whole code is if the ball is to your right, you don't advance, but Tiller recognized that ball was hit really weakly from Pettit and decided he could make it to third, and he did just that.
Pettit gets the job done, cashes in Luke Johnson, and here's Carter Dans. Dans in his second game with the OC Riptide. Scored 2 runs yesterday, one of them the big run as he takes a pitch away, or rather in the zone for strike 1.
Did a great job. Worked the count full and then tripled down the line last time up here. Just needs to put the ball in play and hopefully bring in Justin Tiller from third and give the Riptide a 4-1 lead here.
1 out, opposite batter's box from Moran. 1-1 now. Luke Johnson started this inning off, was hit by a pitch. Tiller reached on an error. Brady Pettit scored Johnson, and Dans takes a pitch low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Dans out of Northwestern University was ranked the number 14 Big Ten impact freshman as he takes a big swing and a miss through this one. 2-2 the count. Grew up close to here in Newport Beach, California. Attended Corona Del Mar High School, where he was ranked the number 42 outfielder in California. Pitch misses up. Another full count for Moran, this time facing Carter Dans.
We've seen so many full counts today by Riptide hitters. They're doing a really good job of battling and staying in at bats.
Infield in here for the Philippines. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Moran, the pitch. Misses low for ball 4. Runners on the corners with 1 out here.
Good job there by Carter Dans, not trying to do too much. You know that when you have a runner on third and first base open, a walk's not an unlikely outcome, and certainly one that the pitcher isn't that, unhappy with. And so I think it's smart to be careful and cautious, and Dans didn't try and do too much and takes the free base when it's there.
Mound visit here for the Philippines as Franco Moran. 1 run has already crossed for the Riptide, who lead 3-1. Grant MacArthur is due up, taking a couple big practice swings there as the mound visit concludes for the Philippines. Everyone goes back to their respective positions. And Moran here looking for 2 outs.
MacArthur flew into that double play. He flew out to right field, and Carter Dans tried to score on what would have been a sacrifice fly back in the first, but Dans was thrown out at the plate by Vanderpool, so instead it's a double play for MacArthur.
At 306 at UConn this year. The runners on the corners. This pitch gets by Mercado. Justin Tiller scores from third. Riptide lead 4-1.
The Riptide really creating something out of nothing this inning. They've gotten hit by a pitch, walked, and reached on an error and scored 2 runs already and have another in scoring position here.
Dans advances to second for Grant MacArthur here. 1-0 count. Moran gets set, looks back at second. The pitch home inside. 2 balls and no strikes against the senior first baseman. Spent last summer with the Rochester Honkers in the Northwoods League. Played with the Riptide back in 2023 as he takes strike 1.
That's a pretty good name there, Rochester Honkers. It's definitely up there in the top. I think it's at least, a top 10% summer ball name.
And, in summer ball, you see a lot of pretty creative names. That one, I agree with you, is a pretty good one. 2 balls, 1 strike, chopped up the middle. A couple bounces to Stevenson, fields cleanly. The throw to Story, retires MacArthur. Dans over at third now.
The best name that I've seen was the Chili Dogs, the home plate Chili Dogs. That was Jonathan Van Ness's travel ball team, but makes me hungry just thinking about it.
Wow. Van Ness played for the Chili Dogs, and here's Tyler Holland, the sophomore shortstop. And top of the 5th, we'll have some food here in the booth as this one right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. And we're going to have some guests up here in the booth with us, Sam.
No, I'm pretty excited. We're going to have a couple of pitchers who pitched yesterday. Dylan Nieto and Jace Binky will be joining us, and they basically begged us if they would come on the air, and we obliged.
Fly ball out towards center field. Prismanto works back, makes the grab. Riptide score 2 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd. They lead 4-1. 4th inning up next.
Those runs aren't. I don't think either of them are, right? Are we good? Oh, we're not out.
Riptide add 2 more runs, now lead 4-1 in the top of the 4th. Jonathan Torrente, Javen Boxa, and Ethan Mercado due up for the Philippines. Tommy Maguire back out there. First pitch strike to Jonathan Torrente. Torrente reached on a walk in the 2nd. Was out on that double play that Boxa hit in. 0-1 pitch. Lifted foul on the left side by Torrente now behind in the count 0-2. Torrente out of Woodland Hills, California. Played at Los Angeles Pierce College. Looking for his first hit tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from McGuire. High fly ball. Shallow center field. Racing back towards it is the shortstop, Tyler Holland, who makes the catch. Retires Torrente.
That one was hit really into no man's land. Camden Burdick, Carter Dan, Tyler Holland, and Marco Rosales were all coming in for it, and ultimately it's the shortstop who makes the catch.
A nice play by Holland out there to race all the way back, gets the out, and here's Javen Boxa. Boxa had that double play in the second inning. Nobody on, 1 out. Softly sends one back. Foul is Javen Boxa. Boxa, a really good season this year with the College of the Desert. 365 average. Tommy McGuire gets set, delivers the 0-1. Softly up the middle, right back to McGuire. Fields cleanly, and the throw to MacArthur. 2 outs, top of the 4th here.
McGuire doing a much better job throwing to first that time, just making a nice clean play and gets the out.
So it's the first time tonight where McGuire has got 2 quick outs, trying to get that final one here with Ethan Mercado. Action going on in the Philippines bullpen. First pitch to Mercado. Drops in for strike 1. Mercado struck out twice on Saturday against the Riptide. Struck out back in the second in his first at-bat today. This pitch just misses away for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on. It's the top of the 4th inning with the Riptide leading 4-1. McGuire's pitch lined foul on the right side by Mercado. Mercado steps out for a moment, regathers himself, now back in the right-handed batter's box with gray gloves on, black bat wavering next to that red helmet of Mercado. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Tommy McGuire. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Riptide a 4-1 lead. This is Riptide TV. Riptide leading 4-1. Headed towards the bottom of the fourth, looking to add on. Here's Marco Rosales. Rosales was walked and also stole a base in the second inning.
New pitcher for the Philippines as well, Patrick Fernandez, the right-hander. So the final line on Moran, 3 innings, 2 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which are earned, 3 walks, and he struck out just 1.
Patrick Fernandez, now the righty facing the righty, Rosales. Kicks and deals and a swing and a miss from Marco Rosales. Fernandez played at Los Angeles Pierce College this past season, is in the transfer portal right now. He gets set, delivers the 0-1, and Rosales had to kind of bend over to avoid being hit as that was right towards his head.
I don't know if you've seen Top Gun, but that was permission to buzz the tower. Permission denied right there.
1-1 the count against Marco Rosales. As Fernandez drops it in there for strike 2. Patrick Fernandez, in his second appearance on the mound this summer for the Philippines, pitched against the Oaks. 1-2 count here against Rosales. Lined into right field, a single from Marco Rosales.
Really nice piece of hitting there for Rosales. Down in the count 1-2, and it's his second straight really good at bat, and it's nice to see him begin to look like himself this summer. He hadn't played great in his first 2 starts, but certainly an improved performance here today from Rosales.
Rosales was walked in the second, now has his first hit, his second of the summer here in the fourth.
Stole a base while he was out there too, so we'll see if he gets aggressive against Fernandez.
Here's a guy, Jimmy Zakar, who would also love to get his summer started as he fouls one, but the ball ricochets, looks like, off of his knee. It's no balls, 1 strike with no outs here against Jimmy Zakar, who has to take a moment. Mercado jogs out there, has a visit with his pitcher, Fernandez, on the mound. No balls, 1 strike. Riptide lead 4-1. No outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Grant Mayu, the third base coach, has a word with Zakar, who got hit with that foul ball that bounced off the plate. Marco Rosales is on first. He just singled moments ago. Zakar back in the right-handed batter's box facing the righty, Fernandez. Waves that wood bat next to his right ear as Fernandez gets set. The 0-1 swing and a miss from Jimmy Zakar, now 0-2. Fernandez at Los Angeles Pierce College, played in 15 games this year. Was a two-way guy there.
He hit pretty well as a hitter, over 400 in those 15 games.
Yeah, bat 444, had 6 RBIs and 1 stolen base there. No outs, runner on first, that's Rosales. Jimmy Zakar, the senior catcher here. Swing and a miss, and he's strikes out twice today. And here comes Cam Burdick.
Zakar, the only guy to get struck out by Moran. He's the first to get struck out by Fernandez.
This is Cam Burdick out of Cal State Fullerton. Grounded to short in the second inning. White gloves with a green bat. The pitch upstairs for ball 1. Cam Burdick bat 259 at Cal State Fullerton this year, had 2 home runs. It was a perfect 8 for 8 on stolen bases. The 1-0 lifted right back towards us. It bounces into the net in front of the press box and drops back down there on the field.
I was ready to make a play, personally.
You know, Andrew Geisler, another one of our broadcaster, the other day brought his glove as we were out there on radio. He was ready to make a grab also.
I was shagging balls out there today. I made a couple of nice plays, I think.
Yeah, we were out in center field chatting it up with the pitchers pregame as this pitch drops in the zone for strike 2. 1-2 the count against Cam Burdick here. Burdick against the Bombers was 1 for 4 with a run scored. That was back on Tuesday. Fernandez, the 1-2. High fly ball out towards left field. Racing back Torrente. It bounces off the wall. Rosales races around third, headed for home. He scores easily. The Riptide a 5-1 lead here.
Great piece of hitting there from Cam Burdick, a wall ball double. And we've been talking about his power, and this is the first time he's really showed it off this summer.
4 hits tonight, 5 runs for the Riptide. That time Cam Burdick cashes in Marco Rosales. Here's the top of the lineup with Luke Johnson.
You said at the bottom of the order, making stuff happen. So always good whenever you have all parts of the order working at once, and Riptide have that right now.
Still one out here in the bottom of the 4th inning as the pitch drops in there for strike 1 against Luke Johnson out of Cornell. Johnson, in his second summer with the Riptide, led the team in home runs last year with 2.
Your voice okay there, Aidan?
You know, it was a long game last night. We had extra innings, a lot of big moments as, boy, Luke Johnson has been hit for the second time today.
Getting batted around, but free bases are free bases. So Johnson, he's a tough guy. He'll throw his gear down and make the trot off to first.
Runners on first and second. Luke Johnson has gotten aboard in all 3 of his plate appearances today. Has been hit by a pitch twice, singled back in the first, came all the way around a score, also scored in the 3rd. Umpires will have a meeting here, talk things over. Justin Tiller's due up out of Cypress College here.
Wonder if there's conversations here about whether warnings will be handed out. We know the Riptide received the warning on Sunday for getting loud and aggressive. We'll see if there's any issued here. Looks like there has been a warning issued towards the Philippines.
Fernandez looking for 2 outs to get out of this inning. It's the bottom of the 4th. The Riptide lead 5-1 over the Philippines. And in that matchup last week, Philippines walked 7 batters. As with runners on first and second, Tiller takes one low for ball 1. Cam Burdick on second, Luke Johnson on first here.
We know how much power Justin Tiller has in his bat, and it'd be a great time to really blow it up in here for the Riptide.
A look back at second for Fernandez. The pitch home, called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike here against Tiller. Waves the wood bat next to his blue helmet as he awaits the 1-1. It's low, gets through Mercado. Runners advance to second and third.
The runners were off on the pitch there, and no chance to throw them out with the ball not even being caught by Mercado.
So Cam Burdick 90 feet from the plate. Luke Johnson is at second. And Justin Tiller, who had 81 RBIs at Cypress College this year, looking to cash them in. Strike 2 against Tiller. 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners on, 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a miss from Justin Tiller. He strikes out. 2 away. It's the second strikeout, rather the third from the Philippines tonight.
But the second from Fernandez. Big strikeout there. You We've talked all night long about wanting to get those runners in when they're 90 feet away and less than 2 outs, and unable to do it there is Tiller, but Brady Pettit can be up to the task here for the Riptide.
Pettit, the baby blue bat, drops one. In the zone is Fernandez for strike one against Pettit here. Riptide have scored 1 run here in the bottom of the 4th. They lead 5-1 over the Philippines. Brady Pettit out of St. Mary's looking to add on to the lead here as he takes a pitch inside for ball 1. As a true freshman at St. Mary's this year, had a .423 batting average. Grew up in San Diego and Encinitas, California. Went to La Costa Canyon High School. The 1-1 strike 2. Was an all-Coastal League first-team selection in high school. 0 for 3 against the Marlins last night. Was walked and came around to score in the first. This one, ground ball, right side, gets by Story, rolls into right field. Burdick scores, and so does Luke Johnson. The Riptide a commanding 7-1 lead here.
Nice job there from Brady Pettit. You know, you put the ball in play and good things happen there. I'm sure he would have loved if that one had just sailed cleanly in the right field, but 2 runs are 2 runs for the Riptide.
And now Carter Dans steps up. Had a triple in the first, was walked in the third. 2 outs here. Fernandez looking to get out of this inning. Dans takes strike 1. Carter Dans, a two-way guy at Northwestern this year. A late addition to the Riptide roster, making his 2nd start. Fernandez, the 0-1 pitch, low for ball 1. Started in left field once, had 1 at bat, and it was a strikeout. We haven't seen Dans on the mound this summer yet. 2 consecutive starts in the outfield as the pitch misses away. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs here against Carter Dans.
Dans was shut down from throwing at Northwestern, so he's still working on building his way back up. Nathan Hellman's warming in the bullpen for Orange County.
Two balls, 1 strike, 1 runner on. Pitch is low. Nice job by Mercado to regain possession of it. 3 balls, 1 strike now against Carter Dans. One of 2 lefties in this lineup for the Riptide, facing the righty Fernandez. The 3-1. Misses up and away. Ball 4, and now runners on first and second for the Riptide. So it's been a solid inning for the Riptide. They've scored 3 runs, lead 7-1. Couple hits, a hit by pitch from Luke Johnson. Carter Dans was walked, and here is Grant MacArthur.
They've given Pettit a hit on that sharply hit ground ball that skirted off the first baseman Hudson Story's glove to bring in those last 2 runs for the Riptide.
5 hits tonight for the Riptide, 7 runs. Here's Grant MacArthur, senior first baseman. Low for ball 1 to Grant MacArthur. 9 home runs this year with UConn, 40 RBIs. Runners on first and second. Brady Pettit's at second. Carter Dans is at first.
A lot of power in that 6'4", 240 frame. He was a home run derby champ in high school.
1-0 called strike 1. 1-1 the count. MacArthur spent fall of his freshman year at the University of Hawaii, then transferred to San Joaquin Delta College in the spring. Was a 2-time All-Big 8 there. The 1-1. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Grew up in El Cajon, California, went to Granite Hills High School. A 4-year varsity letterman there as he faces a 2-1 count against Fernandez. Carter Dans on first. Pettit is at second. Fernandez looks back at second, heaves it home. This is low. Nice grab by Mercado. 3 balls and 1 strike now for Fernandez. Against the Philippines in the first meeting, MacArthur was walked twice, also scored 1 run. Fernandez, the 3-1, sent back towards the press box and foul. Full count now against Grant MacArthur.
The runners can get a jump start here. It'll be Dan's running from first and Pettit from second. We've seen how fast Dan's is already today. He raced around the bases for that triple.
Dan's the winning run yesterday in 10 innings for the Riptide as they took down the Malibu Marlins. 3-2 pitch. High fly ball out towards right field. Vanderpool working back. He makes the grab. Ends the inning. Riptide leads 7-1. Top of the 5th coming up next, and we speak to a couple Riptide pitchers. This is Riptide TV. Back here at Great Park in Irvine, and we're joined by a couple guests in the booth. We got Jace Banky here and Dylan Nieto, some Riptide pitchers. And guys, welcome to the booth. And we've got some food here from our caterer here, Pear Tree Meats, as Nathan Hellman deals a pitch away to Prismanto. And I guess we're going to have a taste test here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's get after
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll get right into the
I think you definitely got to dip this.
What sauce did you get?
100%.
We got ketchup.
Okay,
think
we
we got a
we
little
got barbecue.
Ooh, we have to trade.
Okay,
Swing and
okay.
a miss from Prismanto, down 1-2 here against
A
Hellman.
little dab, not too much. Keep it simple.
That's pretty good.
Is it good?
Oh, yeah.
Are we going out of 10?
Okay. I'm going to need one more bite.
That is a good bite. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Strikeout from Nathan Hellman.
Attaboy, Nate.
I think I got to give it a 10.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of that.
Really?
I gotta
Man,
say.
I was going to go 9, so that's high praise.
I'll meet in the middle there, go 9.5.
So how
some
does
water.
this compare to what you're normally eating in the game? What are your guys' go-to snacks in the pen?
Normally, a sandwich, and then the beef sticks from Costco. Those are pretty good.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, those are pretty good. And then just a bag of chips and a body armor. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I can't like I don't like to spend money on outside food, so I just like to make whatever I have at home.
Mm-hmm.
So like ground beef, rice, and like
Yeah.
you said, a bag of chips, maybe some fruit.
Keeping it simple.
What's our go-to bags of chips?
Oh man.
I think we were both Miss Vicky's guys lately.
Yeah,
Ooh,
those
okay.
are good.
Yeah.
Salt and
Good.
vinegar.
Those are
Salt and
good.
vinegar for sure.
Sea salt and vinegar. Those are both
Oh my
money.
gosh.
Make that play.
Ground
Oh,
ball
do
left
it.
side.
No.
Pettit's throw to MacArthur, not in time. Pham sent safe aboard first.
Definitely a tough play there for Brady. He's had a couple of those
Yeah.
that have been these slow grounders.
I thought he might have got it there in time. I don't know.
Yeah, he did all he could,
Yeah.
I mean, he certainly didn't throw the ball wildly like
Yeah.
You did, Jace, last game. But
No, that was Spence. That was Spence. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
That's Jake Spence.
You're right.
That was
I'm sorry.
Spence.
That was Spence.
I love that little comment there. That's
Well, going
that was
off of
good.
that, Jace,
Mhm.
you obviously played yesterday, 2 and 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 Ks. How does it feel to play with the Riptide this summer?
You know, it's been awesome. It's been fun. Got my feet wet last week. I think I went 2 innings. Felt good. And then this week, you know, kind of working on things and then come back out. Threw pretty well. A couple things didn't go my way, but it's kind of how the game goes. You keep fighting through it, making the adjustments, and get ready to go again next week.
Right, Nathan Hellman here on the mound. What
Yep.
can you tell us about him?
He goes to Kennesaw. He's pretty good. He throws pretty hard. He's got a good curveball. Good
I went to
changeup.
Saddleback with Nate Ashley. He didn't play when I was there because he's recovering from TJ, but I know him personally as a human. He's a great friend, great person.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Good teammate. Really funny.
Who's the funniest pitcher in the bullpen?
I don't know. I wouldn't say there's one guy.
Yeah.
I would say there's like multiple. Nate's definitely one of them.
Nate,
Jake's
Muck.
funny. Muck's
Jake.
pretty funny. I like to think both of us are pretty funny too. So.
Yeah, on our good days.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no.
I'm sure
we-
they're happy to have you guys out of the bullpen.
yeah, probably. No, they were chirping us on our way up
They
here.
might be a little jealous that we got some burgers here, but
I think you guys can take the extra food back.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Did you guys try the Mac, by the way?
Oh,
I
no.
don't.
Do you have a
I
fork?
I don't have a
I
utensil.
we don't
I
have-
have
that
a
one.
fork.
Ooh,
You know what? I'll get a
That's
knife
tough.
In there.
Yeah, get a knife in there. See if we can make it work.
Oh, that's gonna be a little hard.
I mean, we could just go with our hands if we have.
I think
Oh,
we.
that's not
I
good.
don't think I want to do that on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be so hard. Here, I'll try and get this part here that's a little stuck.
Yeah, that's a good piece.
Oh, yeah.
You could be the critic for all of us right here.
That's pretty good.
Is it?
That's good.
Wow.
That's better than Kraft mac and cheese.
That
I
was-
think.
Oh, I hope so. It looks real good.
2-1, big swing and a miss from Vanderpool.
See if we can get a strikeout here. Throw the slider.
Hellman, his 3rd appearance this summer, pitched against the Foresters and Waves. 2 scoreless outings for him.
So Dylan, you got the win yesterday. How good did that feel for you?
Yeah, I didn't even know that I was in line for the win, but I'm happy. I think I'm only one of 2 guys to have a win on the year so far, so I'm pumped for the team and myself.
Well, you were in line for the loss when you.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know. I was like, I came out there to pitch, and like, okay, they got a run on me, and then we were losing, and then thankfully Carter and Tiller came up huge and
That was a good
walking
swing.
it off. So
Tiller had a really good swing. I thought it might have gone out, but just short.
And talk about that. Like, what does a win like that do for the team? Obviously, it gives you a lot of momentum heading into tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
Especially
this-
because we lost against these guys last time too, and now we're kind of taking it to them, and hopefully we can keep it going.
yeah, we lost our first 3. Everybody was like, we know it's still early. Everybody's still trying to tap in back into baseball, but winning these next 3 or these past 3 games has been good for the team.
Yeah,
Definitely on a roll here.
yeah.
Are you guys gonna go on the road tomorrow? That road trip to Arroyo Seco, or?
No, we're not.
I don't think because we both pitched yesterday. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna go with some arms that haven't thrown yet. So
Get to stay
So
home.
yeah, you guys
Yeah.
get a
Yeah.
day
Stay
off.
home.
Wow.
For the off
little
day.
Little
day
off
off.
day,
Might
yeah.
go to the beach or something.
Yeah,
We'll
go to
see.
the beach, get some dinner.
Do you
Spend
guys
some time.
travel with?
I'm headed
Aidan's
towards
going
Arroyo tomorrow.
Okay.
So that should be a fun bus ride.
Yeah. How far is it?
I think it's hour and a half.
Yeah, hour
Pasadena.
That's not bad.
I drew the road trip to Santa Barbara, so I'm
Oh.
going on
Okay.
a big one.
That's far, right?
Yeah,
That's,
that's 3.5 hours.
Oh.
That's a. What about the slow trip? Who's
Ooh.
going on that
I
one
think
right
there's
there?
2 games at slow, and I think that the 4 of us are each going to one each because two broadcasters
Okay,
go to
yeah.
each game. So.
PFP.
Right
Get
back to
over it, run it
McGuire.
back.
Underhand
Good.
pitches
Boy,
to
Nate.
MacArthur.
Good. Hey, we practiced that. So.
Good boy.
Do you guys want to hang around for another half inning here? Or you
Yeah.
guys-
Yeah, sure.
We're having fun here.
We'll-
Awesome.
We'll take a quick break as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Riptide, a 7-1 lead. Back here at Great Park in Irvine, the Riptide, a commanding 7-1 lead over the Philippines. Still joined by Jay Spanky and Dylan Nieto. I'm sorry. There's a lot of names on this OC Riptide roster.
Yeah, still getting to learn everybody's name.
Hunter Boylan out there for the Philippines, the senior left-handed pitcher out of Cal State Chico. 2 innings pitched against the Riptide. 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Pitch upstairs for ball 2. So, Dylan, you're on the Riptide on a 10-day contract. How has that experience been so far for you?
Yeah, I haven't really looked at it that way, but I'm just happy to be a part of the team and like play and show my teammates and coaches and everybody what I got. And good Lord willing, I'll be on this team for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, I think you will be for sure. I think you've done well.
Really, because I actually heard an anonymous source out of the Riptide bullpen was saying different things.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Who was it?
I think he wears number 12 in the bullpen. Maybe
Nate.
number 11 in the bullpen.
Sam Evans, breaking news here.
Jason's
I don't
hating
know.
on me?
I don't know. Nah, we were
He
messing around.
might be a
with
little
it.
mad that I took his chips one day. So maybe
Yeah, he
he's
did
getting
take my
mad at me
chips.
for that.
Really?
Yeah, he did take my chips one day.
That just doesn't
So I had to get back at him.
Or
What?
The salt and vinegar chips?
Yeah, it was salt and
Oh,
vinegar.
can't do that.
I was pretty upset.
Either that or he's just mad I had more strikeouts than him.
Yeah, he
One or the
does.
other.
How many strikeouts do you have?
Like, I don't know, like 3 or 4. I don't
Oh,
know.
I think I have
More
more.
wins, too.
More
You have
wins,
more
yeah.
wins.
Yeah.
Wins are important.
In the
More
1980s.
important. What do you say?
They're important in the 1980s.
Yeah, that's true. No.
Full count now against Tyler Holland, looking for his first hit today.
Come on, Ty.
So did you guys hit in high school or no?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Up in college, JUCO.
Yeah.
I was mainly a position player.
Yeah, I went to junior college as a shortstop, and then that was my freshman year. And then halfway through it, I threw a bullpen, and then never picked up a bat again after that. That was they banged it, so it was good though. I'm glad I made the switch.
I more so transitioned to a pitcher within like the past year. My first 3 years at junior college, I was a position player, shortstop, pretty much anywhere in the infield. I didn't start pitching until I would say about 6 months ago, though.
3-2 pitch. Low ball 4. And Tyler Holland has reached for the first time today on the walk.
So what was that transition like for both of you to go from hitting to pitching, like playing every day to playing every 4 or 5 days?
Well, your body's definitely not as exhausted as it normally equipped to.
That's
But
true.
I mean, I think I speak for both of us. Like position players going into pitching, I wouldn't say it was easy, but I would say the transition has definitely been a lot smoother than
Yeah.
other players, just because I don't know. Shortstops, we're athletes.
Yeah,
You know?
we're used to being athletic, and then going from throwing to the hitters versus hitting is a lot different. Say hitting's probably one of the hardest things to do
Yeah,
in sports.
for sure.
And when you don't have to do that anymore, you're probably pretty happy.
You want to go out there and kick
You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about going over 4 anymore.
Yeah, no, it's good. You don't have to worry about seeing 95 with a 89-mile-an-hour slider that disappears. So it's good. Definitely.
Do you ever get the chance to make fun of some of the hitters who are struggling? Like you can
Uh,
do better.
no,
Maybe
no.
some guys that like I'm close with.
Yeah.
but, like
No, you just try to pick up the hitters when you can, because they're gonna
Yeah.
pick us up when we need it.
exactly.
So want to keep the defense behind us happy at all times.
Marco Rosales at bat here. Runner on first. That's Holland. And I know, Jace, you're here with the Riptide this summer with a host family,
Yeah.
someone that actually works with the Riptide. Tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about that.
So I'm from Arizona, and then I came out here, and me and Jonathan Van Ness, he's in the bullpen right now. We live with Malia. She's our trainer as well, so it's pretty awesome being with her, just because she takes good care of us, and then whenever we need treatment on our arms, because obviously we're pitchers, so we get a lot of work done, a lot of treatment, so she helps out with that too. It's a good situation.
So you're from Arizona. How have you liked Orange County, California so far?
It's awesome. You really can't complain. I mean, I
Yep.
think it's probably 105 at home right now, and it's probably 75 here in sunny every day. You got the beach right here, so it's been good. It's been fun.
Ball 4 back-to-back walks from Boylan here. Runners on first and second for the Riptide.
Yeah, I took him to Newport Beach on Monday
Yeah.
for our off day, so we had a nice little fun time
Yeah.
there. Played some spike ball on the beach,
Yeah.
walked around.
Dylan's a good spike ball player.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie,
He's a
I-
good spike ball player.
Spike ball's a lot of fun. I like spike ball.
Yeah, it's good. I hadn't played it in probably a year and a half, 2 years, and so he was kind of showing me the ropes again, but it was good. It was fun.
Does Coach Evans give you any rules on what you can and can't do on off days, or?
Not really. Just be smart.
Yeah, just
Don't do
make any
anything.
dumb decisions.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Keep. We're here for a reason. We're not here to do stuff off the field.
Yeah,
We're
he
here
likes
to
to
play.
say we're on a business trip.
Yeah.
Representing ourselves, the
Yeah.
team. So
Got to be able to perform still at all times.
What's it like having a head coach who was a pitching coach in the past? Like, how much is that help you guys?
It's been good. I mean, especially pregame when he watches us throw bullpens, and then when we practice before the game started, he kind of gives you tips and helps guys when he can. And he told us when we got here that he's not here to change us or change anything, but if we needed the help, that he'd be more than happy to help us and give us some advice.
What's his demeanor like when he comes to the mound for a mound visit?
you have to ask Jace. I don't think he's come to the mound for me.
Yeah,
So far.
he came to me yesterday, and he's like, this is probably gonna be last guy, so make sure you go get him. And threw one pitch, and I got him, so it worked out. But he's pretty calm. He's not lighting anybody up. He understands that that's probably not gonna work, and he just tells us, what he needs us to do for him, and then we get it done, and everyone's happy.
Brief pause here. Ethan Mercado looks like he's down. They have taken a foul ball in an uncomfortable area.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
quick
those foul
timeout
tips
here.
are rough.
See, and as a pitcher, you really don't have to deal with that either, huh?
Foul
No.
balls to uncomfortable areas?
No.
No, but you always have to be watching out for like a line drive.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't have to happen
Oh,
ever.
here comes my host mom to check on him.
Very nice of Malia to come out and make sure Mercado's okay.
Yeah, she's great. She's awesome.
Do you guys carpool to work, or do you guys drive separately?
I've been driving myself the past couple days, but sometimes me and Jonathan, he lives with us as well. Sometimes me and him will carpool, but I don't live next to Dylan, I don't think. How
No,
far
I
are
don't
you?
think so.
Like 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
We're probably like 20 minutes from each other.
Yeah.
I meant driving with Malia, but what's it called?
Oh,
Oh.
no, she works at the high school too,
Oh, okay.
and she teaches there as well. So she shows up to games around hour and a half before, and we're here.
We have your own car, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I have my own car, but we get here probably 3.5, 4 hours before the game starts to take BP and get ready to go.
0-2, the count against the car here. The pitch
Come on, Jimmy.
misses away. 1 ball, 2 strikes now against the car. Looking for his first hit today. 2 strikeouts so far.
Certainly due. Jimmy's
Yeah.
looking for a big hit here.
Yeah.
And Jimmy was also another late addition to the Riptide roster.
Yeah, I think he got here 2 days ago, I
I
think.
think Sunday was his first game. Get in there. Get in there. Let's
And
go.
drive
Come on.
drops in front of Prismanto in center field. Rounding third is Holland. The
Let's
throw
go.
off the mark. Riptide lead 8-1
go.
here
Good
in
boy,
the
Jimmy.
bottom of the 5th. Oh,
There goes Omaha.
yeah.
What's that like?
How's
being
it?
around
Yeah.
It definitely new experience, I would
Yeah.
say, but fun. All
Yeah.
the guys kind of like mess around. Just
Yeah, keeps the game
yell
fun,
Omaha.
gets the fans into it, gets the kids excited. It's good.
Do you guys ever like just pet Omar or hang out with her in the?
Hang out with her? Yeah, I don't think we're allowed to pet
Yeah.
her just because like
Because she's doing a job too.
Yeah.
She's working, so we kind of let her do her thing like she lets us do ours.
Here's Cam Burdick. Swing and a miss from Burdick.
So did you guys all meet? Like, when did you guys meet? Opening day, or was it earlier? You guys had team bonding.
I think we had a meeting before, like I think it was June 3rd. We had a meeting just before practice and games, so that's when I first met Jace, and then we had 2 practices after, so kind of got acclimated to a bit more of the guys.
Yeah.
But I would say, we're all pretty much a close. It's only been a week of games so far, but I'd say we meshed well so far together.
Yeah, it's been good. I feel like you really get to know the guys once the games start. You see the lineup card, you see their names, put names to faces, and especially when you're shagging BP as pitchers, we all kind of hang out and
Yeah.
talk, and it's a good time and it's fun. And we play a little hacky sack before the games too, get a little warm up in. But no, it's been good.
Yeah, Jace is probably the best on the team at that one.
Okay. Wow.
I played soccer growing up, so that kind of helps. But
What position were you in soccer?
I was a forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
1-2 pop right back at us, but this one a little higher. And we have a couple of them come back towards us tonight, Sam. But 1 ball, 2 strikes here.
Have you ever had one break the glass?
No, they, yeah.
Because the net's in the way.
Was it
You
net?
have to
Yeah.
have one go like perfectly over.
That
and
gap
then-
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
pretty
think
hard. You
that's
get to like
yeah.
ricochet off this like embarkment over us.
That'd be crazy. I always see it on the big leagues, like the foul balls hit the cameras and they
Yeah.
crack the camera
Well, I think
screens.
for some of the big league fields, they don't have glass. It's open. So
That's true.
Yeah, most stadiums have an open press box. But speaking of that, like you guys spend most of the game down there in the dugout, in the bullpen. What's it like being up here in the booth with the headset on?
It's a lot
cool.
different. Yeah.
Definitely a lot different. I didn't know that the press box area around here was so nice. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And down there, everyone's locked in,
Mm-hmm.
so you kind of let them be locked in. We're not as locked in the bullpen when it's not our day to pitch. We kind of have fun down there, but when it's someone's turn to get ready to get warm, and we kind of let them. We don't really bother them. Let them get locked in.
Speaking of getting warm, is there anything you guys do that's a little like unconventional warm-ups, whether it's throwing a football around or anything like that?
Me and him like to throw the football around.
Yeah.
We both pitched yesterday, so for our throwing routine before the game today, we just tossed the football around for about a couple of minutes or so. Nice, Marco.
Rosales slides in
Boy,
head first
that
to
was
third.
nasty. I don't think I've ever seen that in an actual game in person.
Catching
That's
them off
crazy.
guard.
But yeah, I feel like most pitchers relatively all do the same thing. I mean, you'll have one or two guys on every team that kind of does a lot. Like, I don't know, O'Malley, he has a pretty extensive warm-up program, and he's always doing something to get ready to go. But
He's
other
so
than that,
tall, it makes sense that he.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like
And
6'8" or something.
he throws hard too, so it's definitely working whatever he's doing.
Verdict here in the box on the 1-1.
Oh yeah.
Lifts one in the air, out towards left center.
an extra base
Rosales
hit, maybe.
scores.
Oh, there's
Racing
the
around
catcher.
second is
Nice.
the car, and Riptide 9-1 over the Philippines.
Oh, there goes Omaha.
Omaha races out there. And this is a team that you guys lost to last week. And how does it feel like a 9-1 win? It's been a solid day so far for you
Yeah.
guys.
Well, I think if you ask anybody on the team, this is what we should have done the first game.
Yeah.
But, like I said, first couple of games, everyone's still trying to get back acclimated to the baseball shape. But, I mean, this just shows how good we are or how good we can be. So
Yeah, it feels good for sure. You can't complain anytime you get a win. Winning's hard, no matter what the team is, especially in baseball. Anything can happen on any day, so feels good every time. Get a lead like this, and hopefully we can keep it.
Here's Justin Tiller. Lifts one in the air, out
Oh
towards
my
left field.
gosh.
Torrenti racing back, makes
Oh,
the
go,
grab.
Jimmy. Go, Jimmy.
Runner tags from third. That's Jimmy Zakar.
Oh, wow.
that's a ribby.
And slides in safely. 10-1 Riptide here in the bottom of the fifth.
Let's go, boys.
Look at Jimmy showing off the wheels.
Yeah, especially for a catcher, he moves well.
So who's the funniest hitter on the team? We talked about the pitchers.
Probably Johnny. I think Johnny's funny.
Yeah, 100%.
Jimmy's funny just because he's an older guy, so we call him Unc. So, but no, Johnny's funny
Yeah,
too.
Johnny's definitely.
Johnny as in Jonathan Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Okay.
Jake Evans has like the best flow on the team, like the stash
Yeah.
with the hair back. Like,
Yeah.
he looks like he's
Hair-wise,
just having fun out
definitely.
there.
Yeah, he's locked in for sure. He's got the flow.
Another frustrating inning for the Philippines. Riptide have scored 3 runs here. They lead 10-1. Boylan the 1-0. Misses away. 2 balls and no strikes.
So when you have sort of a run like this where their team's won, if this holds 4 games in a row, do you guys like do the same thing every day, or is there do you mix stuff up?
Yeah. I mean, most days you stay consistent. Like, win or lose, you do the same thing every day. But it just feels a little bit better when you win, when you're on a win streak, and when you keep it going.
This is Brady Pettit here.
Especially in the clubhouse after the games, when we win, guys bump
Yeah.
music down there.
The
So,
clubhouse is definitely funner if we win. So.
yeah.
Who's got post-game aux?
It kind of just depends. We don't really have one yet.
Whoever goes in there and plays the music first.
Yeah.
We
Whoever has the speaker that day.
don't really have like a set guy for that.
Yeah. We'll
Is there
probably.
anyone who you're like, you can't have the aux? Or
I've heard Jake Spence
Yeah,
probably.
Jake Spence probably.
His music taste is
It's not very
horrid.
good.
I don't know.
Wow.
But
You
bro.
can tell him I said that too.
Okay, we will. We will.
Do you think they're listening down there in the bullpen right now?
There might be one or two guys.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
We'll ask them when we go back down there.
2-2 here against Pettit. Boylan looking for that last strike to get out of this inning. He gets set, delivers the pitch, and goes back and redo things here.
What's the longest at bat that either of you guys have been a part of on the mound?
On the mound, I think maybe 8 pitches. But when I was hitting, I've been a part of a 15 pitch at bat. So
Dang. I think
as a pitcher, 15 pitch at bat, that's not fun. But as a hitter, I'm kind of like
How
a
did
little
the
ticked
at-bat
off too.
end?
I'm like, come on, I can't put one in player. But
I think in the fall when I was at GCU, I had an at bat, and I think it was 13 pitches with one of the hitters there, and I ended up walking him. I think I threw him. I think it went 7 straight strikes or 8 straight strikes, foul balls, and it wasn't fun. I just ended up walking him, but it was good at bat. Those are always fun.
2-2. Lifted in the air out towards left field. Diving grab by Torrente ends this inning. Riptide put up 3 runs. They lead 10-1. Well, guys, it was great having you guys up here.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank
This
you.
was
Yeah,
fun.
we enjoyed it.
This
We
It's a lot
enjoyed
of
it.
fun to have you guys. We'll have to have
Yeah.
someone else up next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Oh,
There's some food.
sweet. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good
Yeah, we
luck the
appreciate it.
rest of the year, guys.
Thank you. We'll
Yeah.
talk soon.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. We're back here for the top of the 6th. Sam Evans alongside Aidan Pham here at the Great Park. Riptide leading this game 10-1. Thanks again to Chase Binky and Dylan Nieto for joining us for the last inning. But just us now, Aidan.
Yeah, and that was fun. That was a great idea to whoever came up with that.
I think it was Jace. Jace was the one who wanted to do it. So as we return here, still Nathan Hellman on the mound, taking on Hudson Story, who's 0 for 2 so far, punched out both times by starting pitcher Tommy McGuire. Hellman gave up a hit and struck out 2 in his first inning of work. The Riptide protecting a 9-run lead here. He said he went around, so strike down 0-2 is Hudson Story.
Right, for the Riptide here, you have a commanding 10-1 lead. I think if you're Coach Evans, you want to see how your team finishes this game. You obviously want to still play high-quality baseball with a couple innings left.
That one just misses the outside, but certainly gassing up a little extra there. And Hellman can get up to 94, and it looked like he was trying to throw every ounce of it there. Looking for a 3rd strikeout from the beer batter, and I think at that point the beer needs to be free. If it's not already after 2 strikeouts, I think 3 strikeouts from the beer batter means that there needs to be free beer.
Yeah, that would be huge for the people in the section tonight. Looks like a pretty decent showing.
Oh, for sure, that 21-plus section continues to, I think, grow each night as there's more and more. It is Thirsty Thursday, after all, here at the Great Park. So 2-2 on Story as Hellman comes back set here. That one misses high, so away, but
3-2 count. Hellman actually struck out 21 batters in 12 2/3 at Saddleback College, so he definitely has some swing and miss that he can create. He's already got 2 tonight, looking for a third right here. That one misses, though, and he'll walk Story, which obviously, up 9 runs, not exactly a cause for concern, but you never want to walk the leadoff man.
And for Hudson Story, a nice job finding a way to get aboard after striking out 2 times today. And for the Philippines, they're just trying to start something here, down by 9 runs. And that's a good start when you get Hudson Story aboard first.
No, though, they're going to need to clamp down on the pitching side. The Riptide have scored 3 in each of the last 2 innings. They scored 2 the inning before that. Kicks and deals here to Stephen Leo, who's the DH tonight. They said that Jimmy Zakar gets called Unk in the Riptide dugout. Leo, born in 2000, I'm sure he hears the exact same thing from the Philippines baseball group. Had 1-0 in the count is Leo. Runner on first is Story. That one well inside, and that's going to allow Story to move up to second. So 2-0 count for the Riptide. The only other man who was listed as hot today is Trey Telfer out of the bullpen, so probably going to be another inning, maybe 2 innings from Hellman, and then Telfer will come into this game to close it out.
And it was a good outing for McGuire, just 1 run cross, and
that one got away. Chance to get the runner here, though. Throw down in time. Jimmy Zakar. Talk about making a play right there. Zakar got to that ball so quickly and puts Hudson Story away. Score that 2-5 on the putout.
well, that's big for Zakar. Erases the runner on, now the first out of this inning.
3-0 count here, though, on Leo. That one misses the zone, so Leo will walk, and there's a runner back on base, but runner on first, 1 out now in this 10-1 game that Orange County has led since the start. They scored 2 in the first, gave up 1 in the top of the third, answered back with 2 the bottom of the third, 3 in the bottom of the fourth, 3 in the bottom of the fifth, and really poured it on this Philippines baseball group.
I think it's been ever since that Philippines game where it really has felt like the offense has woken up for the Riptide. Already 7 hits and 10 runs tonight.
Jonathan Torrente takes a strike on the outer half. Torrente's 0 for 1 today. He walked and popped out his first 2 trips to the plate. Orange County will be on the road tomorrow for the first time all season. They're headed to Arroyo Seco. That one just misses, so 1-1 count. Be 2 straight games against the Saints. The first on the road, the second back here on Saturday night.
Should be a good one, a big test for the Riptide, who have had a couple nice wins since losing to the Philippines here. Arroyo Seco having a good summer.
That one catches the inside part of the zone, so 1-2 count now. For Orange County, I think, you talk about, obviously, this game is sort of out of hand, at least for the moment, but a lot of guys who aren't normally in the lineup for the Riptide, some pitchers who've only thrown once this summer, chance to really impress Coach Brian Evans and argue that they should be in the lineup more often. So that one missed, so 2-2 count now.
And you're exactly right. It's a golden opportunity for guys who maybe weren't on the radar to kind of prove themselves and make a name and impress the coach here.
So the 2-2 here from Hellman. Runner at first is Leo. That one called strike 3. Bad news for Torrente, and he'll head back to the dugout, bat on his shoulder. 3rd strikeout for Hellman. That'll bring up Javen Baxa, the 3rd baseman tonight. He's 0 for 2, double play, and a ground out.
That's big for Hellman after you give up back-to-back walks to be able to come back with that strikeout.
No, and certainly I think helped that Jimmy Zakar was able to pick up his pitcher and made a great play on that throw down to 3rd, and Brady Pettit was hustling over, covered the bag, got the tag down. So, there's been an error tonight for the Riptide, and it was the throwing error from Tommy McGuire. But otherwise, really fundamental, clean baseball. Couple of nice double plays tonight. it's a really refreshing sight after that sloppy 6-error game yesterday.
And we were talking about it kind of pregame, how coming into yesterday, they were third in the CCL with 7 errors. Almost had that in one singular game with 6 yesterday. A better game today defensively, though.
That slider dropped in there, so 1-1 count. And I think, the big thing when you talk about errors, whether it's an execution error or a decision-based error, and I think you really want to limit those. You don't have any errors, obviously, as that one skips in, back pick from Zakar, and he is out. Jimmy Zakar throwing it all around the diamond. 2 great plays from Jimmy, and we are headed to the bottom of the 6th. The Riptide lead this game 10-1. Back here for the bottom of the 6th at Great Park. Riptide still leading this ball game 10-1. The Riptide have controlled this game throughout, and they're up here to try and add on. They've scored at least 2 runs in their last 3 innings. Carter Dans is going to lead things off, and he's had quite the day. Tripled in a run in the first, walked in each of his last 2 plate appearances, so he's been on all 3 times.
And it's been really frustrating for the Philippines pitching staff down the line. They've, like you said, given up multiple runs in each inning so far, other than the second. See if they can have a more clean inning and get out of this one quickly to give the bats an opportunity here.
Dans took a strike for that first pitch, so he's down 0-1 in the count here against Hunter Boylan, who's still in this ball game. It's another strike, so Dan's down 0-2, but it's almost felt like Dans has done his best work down in the count. We saw his big single last night he battled back from down in the count. His triple today, he was down in the count, battled back to get it full, so we'll see if he can continue that trend here. The 0-2 here to Dans, taken high. We'll see if Tim O'Day employs a sort of wide strike zone, as this game is a little bit out of hand at the moment, whether it'll sort of curtailed to get this one over with quickly.
Right. Got to give a lot of as the pitch here is low, but give a lot of credit to the Riptide. It wasn't the start they may have wanted, but they really have picked it up, and it was in the end of the Philippines game where they got off to a hot start with the bats, right? But it kind of felt like they took their foot off the pedal, and ever since then, the bats have been hot.
2-2 well high. And I think for the Riptide, it's been about, taking advantage when things are gifted to you. Only 7 hits tonight, which obviously it's a lot of hits, but when you score 10 runs, you kind of expect there to be more hits. And so for the Riptide, they've taken advantage of several walks. We've got, looks like 6 walks already and a couple of hit by pitches. Dans goes down swinging here, though. So that'll be the second strikeout from Boylan. So he gets Dans swinging, and that'll bring up Grant MacArthur. MacArthur, pretty much the only Riptide who hasn't gotten it going today. He's 0 for 3, double play, ground out, fly out. So he's done a little bit of everything, and he's looking to join the rest of the Riptide with getting on base. He'll be the 9th and final member of the starting lineup to reach base in this ball game if he can do so. Takes one outside, ball 1.
And MacArthur most definitely is a guy in this lineup who has the power to send it out of the ballpark. Has had a rough day so far, but one swing away from making it an even better one.
Swings and misses. He hasn't had a hit this summer so far, MacArthur, but he's walked several times, so he's managed to keep his on-base percentage up, and he's shown good plate discipline for the most part. Prior to today, he actually had only put one ball in play in 7 plate appearances because he'd struck out or walked so many times. Falls behind here 1-2. Talk about the 3 true outcomes, walks plus strikeouts plus homers. MacArthur's done 2 of them. He could love to get a 3rd here and homer. Down 1-2 in the count, though. It'll be a little tougher to send one out of the Great Park. The 1-2 from Boylan. Taken just outside. You know, MacArthur kind of reminds me a little bit of Adam Dunn in terms of his plate approach. Likes to walk a lot. Likes to strike out a lot. Well, doesn't like to strike out, but does strike out a lot. And hits a ton of homers. And certainly 6'4", 240. Dunn was not slim. And he had a pretty good major league career. So that one's popped up. Dunn at over 400 home runs for the Nationals and White Sox and Reds over his big league career. 2-2 count, though, on MacArthur as he fouls that one back. You know, the fact that I love about Adam Dunn, he's the only hitter in Major League history who didn't have to run more than half the time. More than half of his at-bats, MacArthur strikes out and is tagged for the 2nd strikeout in a row. More than half of his at-bats ended in either a hit by pitch, a walk, a strikeout, or a home run. Because Adam Dunn hated to run.
You know, see, but that's what I call efficiency there. You find a way to get it done without having to, I guess, run too much.
Hey, and, you know, as someone who likes to, you know, meander around, I don't blame Adam Dunn for doing the exact same thing. And he made a lot more money than I have for walking around the base paths of a Major League stadium. Tyler Holland up here for the Riptide. 2 down in this bottom of the 6th inning. Orange County leads this game 10-1. Holland's 0 for 2, but he did walk and score last inning.
And Boylan so far back-to-back Ks to start this inning after a rough 5th.
That one is sent towards center. Pimento has it played well and records the out. So Riptide go down 1-2-3 for the first time tonight, but they still lead this game 10-1 headed to the 7th. Welcome back here, top of the 7th inning at the Great Park. Sam Evans alongside Aidan Pham on the Riptide TV. We've got Nathan Hellman still on the mound as the Riptide lead by 9. He's taken on the bottom of the order, Baxa, Mercado, and Prismanto if there are no pinch hitters. Though it does look like there will be one. Dylan Taguiam is strolled out on deck in place of Ethan Mercado. But at least for the moment, Javen Baxa steps into the box to start off the top of the 7th. He lines the first pitch he sees right to it center field. Cam Burdick's got it played perfectly, and the Riptide have one down here in the top of the 7th.
And I know we talked about it last inning, but man, has the pitching staff looked really good for the Riptide today. Only 3 arms active, like you said earlier in the broadcast, Sam. And Tommy McGuire and Nathan Hellman so far have done a very nice job.
No, for sure. And McGuire sort of worked his way into and out of trouble, and Nathan Hellman got by last inning with a ton of help from Jimmy Zakar behind the plate. Got 2 of the outs all by himself, basically. Works ahead of Taguiam 0-1 in the count. Mitchell Birdsall is doing the catching now, so Jimmy Zakar's night is done, but as that one is swung on and missed, quickly ahead 0-2 is Hellman, but Birdsall in for Zakar, who, managed to get his first hit of the summer, drove in a run with that, and scored a run, so it was a nice day for Jimmy Zakar, who made a couple of great defensive plays. 0-2 here just misses inside.
And no doubt, and I think it's only going to get better for Jimmy Zakar as he gets more acclimated with this team and summer ball. 2 really big plays in the last inning to get his pitcher out of some mess, and looks like his night might be done.
Dylan Taguiam, who's at the plate here, as that one bounces in. He had a pretty big game against the Riptide. He drove in 3 and went 3 for 5 when these 2 teams met earlier in the season, so didn't get the start today, but looking to make something happen off the bench. Taguiam can catch, so presumably he'll come in and take over for Mercado, though we'll wait for the bottom of the 7th to confirm that for you. 2-2, fouled back towards us. I got to really start bringing my glove to one of these games with how many balls get fouled back. I think I might bring my glove on Saturday and try and go shag some balls in BP.
I think that's a great idea. I mean, I've learned if you want to have fun during BP, you go out to the outfield, chat with some of the pitchers. But, almost got hit by a ball today back out there, thanks to our fellow broadcaster Sam Huon Fitzpatrick for giving me a heads up there.
2-2 fouled again back towards us, so Taguiam might have some beef with us, though not that we did anything to him.
And you made a couple plays. You fielded it cleanly, nice throw, maybe 1 hop.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty clean, getting it back towards the middle where the bucket is, and I felt like I made some nice plays, did a nice glove flip to Jake Spence to get one in, so I think I'm feeling pretty good out there. I think Coach Evans should slot me in the lineup in this 10-1 ball game. 2-2 here, just misses away with the curveball. So count runs full here on the pinch hitter Taguiam. The Riptide, though, lead this game 10-1, bases empty with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Full count here to Taguiam. Payoff pitch is on the way now. And this one is lifted towards the left field line. It will just land foul. We've seen a couple of those land fair, but this one did scoot foul.
And the wind out there has certainly died down. It's still kind of blowing towards left field a little bit. That one goes foul, and redo the full count here against Taguiam, who is inserted in maybe as sort of a guy who you want to maybe spark something if you're the Philippines.
No, for sure. And looking just to give some guys some at-bats here, this Philippines team, since beating the Riptide in what was the Philippines season opener, they dropped 2 straight games, so trying to get off the schneid, but unless some kind of miracle happens here, that's not going to happen tonight. Full count again. We were talking with Jace Binky about how long of a game or how long of at-bats they've had in their past, and this one's gone on for quite the while. Ryder Young has taken over at third base in the place of Brady Pettit.
It really has been a long at-bat. We don't have the official pitch count.
That one just misses. The at-bat comes to an end. A well-worked walk from Taguiam. So he'll reach base.
Right, and we heard Dylan Nieto kind of talk about it, right? A long at bat, and then you give up the walk. It's kind of frustrating for a pitcher on the mound. You really would like to get the strikeout there, but a 9-run game, a walk here isn't the end of the world. Here's Tyler Prismanto.
Prismanto stepping into the plate here. He's 1 for 2. He scored the only run for the Philippines. He led off the bottom of the third with a sharp double to left, then struck out his last time up. So runner on first for him is Taguiam, who a catcher does not run particularly well. Prismanto fouls that one back, so he's down 0-2 in the count. So again, the defensive substitutions for the Riptide, since they've been leading this ball game 10-1. Ryder Young in at third for Brady Pettit. Mitchell Birdsall catching behind the dish. Nathan Hellman still on the mound. 0-2 is fouled back over our heads. That one banged off the metal above us, echoed.
That's got to be, what, the 6th or 7th ball that has came in the vicinity of us today.
Well, they've certainly had it out for us. 0-2 here to Prismanto again. Hellman deals. Chop towards third, but foul. Ryder Young, you know the old saying, as soon as you get in the ball game, the ball will find you. And it looked like that ball might find Ryder Young, but just scooted foul of the chalk. So for the third straight pitch, it's an 0-2 count.
Ryder Young, also one of those young guys. He's going to Gonzaga next year, but just finished his freshman year.
Weakly grounded up the middle. Tough play. Holland on the base for one. On to first in time. The Riptide's third double play of this ball game. It's time to stretch at the Great Park, and the Riptide are leading this game 10-1 on the Riptide TV network. We're back here at the Great Park. Riptide lead this game 10-1. Taguiam has stayed in the ball game behind the dish. It'll be Marcos Rosales to lead things off here. 7-8-9 for the Riptide. Rosales, Birdsall, who'll be making his first at-bat of the game in the place of Jimmy Zakar, and then Camden Burdick. Rosales, since his first pitch, well hit out to left field. That ball is well hit, and it is off the wall. Rosales rolling into second base for the stand-up double. That one was almost out of the Great Park, but Rosales will have to settle for his second hit of the game.
I thought definitely that had a chance to go over the wall, but regardless, it's still a double, a nice hit from Marco Rosales, and man, this is kind of the game he's been waiting for. Has struggled so far before tonight, but 2 hits, a walk, stolen base, 2 runs scored. What a night Marco Rosales has had, Sam.
And I think that's exactly what Coach Evans wanted to see with this lineup. He wanted to have someone show out and make something happen. And Marcos has been one of many players who's done that. As Mitchell Birdsall is going to get to come into the game here. He hasn't gotten a ton of playing time this summer, but getting a chance here to play defense and get his first at-bat of the ball game. He struck out on June 10th, which was Tuesday. So struck out against who was it on Tuesday?
It was the Bombers.
The
right?
Bombers on Tuesday.
A lot of
you're
games
right.
this summer.
There has been a lot of games this summer, and Mitchell came in as a pinch hitter and then struck out in that game. He's down 0-1 in the count here, but Rosales on second. So the Riptide try and take a 10-run lead. It's still Hunter Boylan on the mound. He's sort of been asked to eat some innings for the Philippines. So there is a little bit of action going on in both bullpens. Trey Telfer's the one getting slightly loose for the Riptide. 1-1 here to Birdsall is taken down the middle for strike 2.
Birdsall also played on Saturday against the Philippines, single 2 RBIs in that game. He has come into the game for Zakar here.
This sort of catcher competition has really been wide open. We've seen Ryder Young, Jimmy Zakar, Mitchell Birdsall all get time behind the dish. So Daniel Troncale is factored into that mix as well, and Birdsall getting a chance here, but he'll strike out. So Birdsall goes down swinging in his first at-bat. It's Boylan's fourth strikeout, just one down here in the bottom of the 7th. Camden Burdick comes to the plate. He extended a now 3-game on-base streak with a double that drove in a run. Later came around to score back in the 4th. He's 1 for 3 today, and he'll look to bring home Rosales to give the Riptide a double-digit lead here. Boylan keeping an eye on Rosales, but he'll come set to fire. Burdick takes a strike on the outer half. I think the message has sort of been sent to both teams that at this point, if the ball is close, it's going to be called a strike, so you need to swing at it and get ready to come up to Hacken. We're not here to sit around and take walks in a 9-run ball game, says home plate umpire Tim O'Day. 0-1 swung and missed from Burdick, so he's down 0-2. He went down looking last time up. So down 0-2 in the count. But chance to battle and perhaps make something happen here and bring home a run for the Riptide. Boylan comes set with those high socks of his. Misses away, wild pitch. It's going to allow Rosales to move up to third. So now 90 feet away. How do you feel about high socks in baseball?
I personally, not my style, but I don't hate it. It's not a bad look. Just not something I would rep. What about you, Sam?
I like it for pitchers, but I don't like it for hitters as much. The stirrup socks are certainly a look. Carlos Carrasco rocked them for the Guardians for quite the while, and I like the way that Cookie put it on. But I definitely think it's a pitcher, not a hitter thing.
And Alonzo, our producer director, agrees with you there.
Alonzo's got good taste. That's why he's our director. Swing and miss for Burdick. Goes down on strike. Second straight strikeout from Boylan. That'll flip over the order for Luke Johnson, who will hit.
And talk about guys who have had a good game. Luke Johnson, another one of them, has reached on every single plate appearance he's had today. 2 hits, 2 hit by pitches.
Driven in a run, scored 3 of them, so it's been a great day for Luke. He's got a chance to drive in another run here with Rosales on third. He led off this frame with a double, back-to-back strikeouts, but a wild pitch moved him over. This one is popped up. Giving it a look is Taguiam, but it'll fall harmlessly into the seats, and Little Leaguers will battle for candy down there. There's 3 of them, and the one comes away, and he is triumphant. I mean, he's really excited.
And looks like if Luke Johnson is able to reach, Jack Salmon is going to pinch hit here.
That would be for Justin Tiller, the DH, should we get there. So Johnson's down 0-1 in the count after that foul ball that gifted some youngsters some candy. Rosales on third. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Orange County leads this game 10-1. And speaking of candy, I'm going to go ahead and snack on a yellow Starburst here. That one well behind. A nice play from Taguiam to save a run.
You know, you gotta give a big shout out to Jace Banky and Dylan Nieto, who brought us some candy when they came up to visit us here earlier in the ball game.
Well, they'd like to get invited back because they know that we'll give them food if they come back. So they want to get in our good graces the same way we want to get in theirs. So 1-1 to Johnson. That one is away, so 2-1 count. So I finished up my Starburst there. What do you think is the best flavor of Starburst?
It's got to be the pink Starburst.
Oh, that's not right. That's just
What kind of Starburst guy are you?
orange is the best flavor
Really?
of Starburst.
I don't
and
know
then
about
yellow
that.
is the second best flavor of Starburst.
I'm a big pink and then red guy.
All right, that one catches the outer half. Luke Johnson, 2-2 count now. Rosales still on third. I know that my Starburst flavor is a little bit of a hot take, so I do understand the opinions of others, even if they're wrong. So 2-2 on Johnson, looking to continue his big day. Fouls it off the catcher's helmet of Taguiam. He's been busy since coming into this ball game. I say pinch hitter the top of this frame.
And good at bat by Luke Johnson. Already has had a good day, but isn't satisfied just yet.
Well, it's easy to take your foot off the gas and not lock in as a hitter in a big game, but Johnson certainly staying focused and ready to hit here. He takes just outside, so the count runs full on Johnson.
And we've seen multiple times today where Riptide batters have been down in the count early, but have been able to battle back here. Luke Johnson has done it again, a full count now.
So the payoff pitch to Johnson, first base is open, as is second, with Rosales on third. 2 outs here, 10-1 Riptide lead in the bottom of the seventh. Rosales called out on strikes by home plate umpire Tim O'Day. So the Riptide leave a leadoff double with 3 straight strikeouts, but they lead this game by 9 runs headed to the 8th inning on the Riptide TV network. Welcome back here to the top of the 8th at Great Park. Riptide still leading 10-1. Your new pitcher is Trey Telfer out of Indiana. So the final line on Nathan Hellman, 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, and struck out 3. Additionally, for the Riptide, Justin Heffler is checked into the game in right field in place of Carter Dans. JJ Pham will lead it off for the Philippines against Telfer. Telfer misses high to start off his outing.
And I know we're not there just yet, but it's really been promising that the Riptide only had 3 arms today. They've been able to get good outings from McGuire and Hellman, and looking for a good one here with Telfer.
Even the count at 1, Telfer's last outing, he sort of had a lot of traffic on the base paths, 2 1/3 innings, 5 hits, a walk, but he only allowed 1 run, did strike out 4 batters, so was able to work out of trouble for the most part. 1-1 here. That one is lined back into center field by Pham, his 3rd hit of the game, so unlike most of this Philippines lineup, he's had a pretty good day.
Really has had a good day. Just 1 flyout that was back in the 3rd. Gets a single here. The first batter Telfer has faced.
And the Riptide have done a good job of limiting. They've actually had a fair amount of base runners allowed, but 3 double plays by the Riptide defense and 2 great back picks by Jimmy Zakar. Whereas 1 back pick and 1 he threw out a guy trying to steal on a wild pitch. So they've erased 5 base runners off the paths as Telfer misses high here.
And the Philippines only have 1 run, and you can kind of say that was because McGuire maybe might have been a little greedy, could have just went to first, but instead decided to go to 3rd, and it didn't work out well.
I'm sure that Coach Evans won't be too mad. That one catches the outside half with his team up by 9 runs. The Riptide looking for their 3rd blowout win of the season. Blew out the Waves and the Bombers earlier this year, and looking to do the same again tonight after winning in walk-off fashion against the Malibu Marlins last time out. 1-1 from Telfer. They said that he did go, so 1-2 count, says home plate umpire Tim O'Day.
And it's really promising to see how this team bounces back after losing to a team like they lose to the Bombers on opening day. A really solid performance on Tuesday night. They lose to this Philippines team on Saturday and have a good handle on this one, up by 9.
1-2 to Vanderpool. Called out on strikes. Vanderpool goes looking. Telfer's first strikeout. Did not like that call, but as I've said a couple times, that strike zone's gotten pretty big with this 10-run lead. I wonder if Tim O'Day's got a dinner date at 9:30 p.m. or something that he's trying to make. So that'll bring up Owen Stevenson, who's starting at second base tonight. He reached on a hit by pitch as well as an infield single his first 2 times up. He grounded back to the pitcher last time. Stevenson swings wildly, was trying to send that one over the fence, and instead is down 0-1.
Stevenson, another guy for the Philippines who has reached twice with a hit by pitch and a single in the 3rd.
Telfer, 0-1 here on Stevenson. Swings and misses again, so ahead 0-2. And I thought it was really interesting. I was in the bullpen before Sunday's game, and Telfer had thrown on Saturday night and against this Philippines team, actually. And Coach Evans was talking to Telfer about how to make sure you're hitting the exact same spot in your mechanics and repeating the same motion as Telfer delivers and misses away. That one's going to go to the backstop. Pham going to move up to second. And, we talked about how you can find some sort of melody or thing to repeat in your head to ensure that you're hitting the exact same point. And Telfer's said he was going to work on that. He said he's been using it in warm-ups, actually, to help him make sure that he's been getting warm correctly. He's not using it in the ball game. He doesn't like to try and make adjustments when he's pitching on the mound, but when he's warming up in the outfield pregame or when he's throwing in the bullpen, singing something to get him to get to a good point, and he will use that to his effect here. He strikes out Stevenson with a well-placed slider, so his 2nd straight strikeout.
Back-to-back strikeouts, and going back to your story on Telfer, and I think that goes to show you the advantage of having a guy like Brian Evans as not only your head coach, but your pitching coach who has a lot of experience, the ability to help these guys develop in just this summer.
Speaking of stories, it's Hudson's story at the plate here. He'll swing and miss at Telfer's first offering, so ahead 0-1. Story's got Pham sent over on second as the Philippines look to bring home their second run of the ball game. Telfer staring in for the sign from Mitchell Birdsall, who came into this game as a defensive replacement for Jimmy Zakar. That one down, so count even at 1. Telfer's got a 5-pitch mix, and I like that he mixes it up so much. He's got a 4-seamer, a cutter, a slider, a splitter, and then he has sort of a show-me curveball that he throws up there. So 1-1 count. Story swings and misses again. I feel like a lot of wild swings and misses off Telfer so far in this inning.
And part of that could be because these Philippines guys are trying to get aggressive and some wild swings here, trying to get back in the ball game. But Telfer has had a nice outing so far, giving up that single to JJ to lead things off, but back-to-back strikeouts since then.
Pham sent on second, 2 down here. That one is chopped towards first, but goes foul before Grant MacArthur can make a play. So Pham will head back to second. He's been there for about a batter as he singled to lead off this frame, moved up to second on a wild pitch. There were a couple of strikeouts to Vanderpool and Stevenson in between those. But as we've said, Orange County up 10-1 here in this ball game. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Just sort of on cruise control as the Riptide look to even up their record at 3-3 in CCL play. Telfer gets him on strikes. Vanderpool, see ya. Owen Stevenson, talk to you later. Hudson Story, good night. Riptide up 10-1, headed to the bottom of the 8th. We're back here for the bottom of the 8th, unless there's some sort of minor miracle for the Philippines. This will be the last ups for the Riptide. They're up 10-1. Pinch hitter Jack Salmon taking over for Justin Taylor as the DH. He'll lead off this inning. Ryder Young, who took over at third for Brady Pettit, is going to hit next, and then it'll be Justin Heffler, who took over for Carter Dans as the third hitter in the inning. They're facing Nomar Vasquez. Vasquez infielder slash pitcher, so sort of thrown out there two-way guy. He misses inside, with the game mostly out of hand, bringing out a position player to pitch, certainly not unreasonable for the Philippines.
Vasquez, a position player, a guy who kind of gave the Riptide trouble when they first played. 3 for 5, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored in that game.
That one is grounded back towards Vasquez. He'll run towards first, flip on to Story in time, and down goes Salmon. But Riptide will now have Ryder Young coming to the plate here. Young sort of gotten the most starts at catcher, but he's getting the opportunity to play some third base today in place of Brady Pettit, who he came in for.
And that's the good thing about these types of games where, one, your team is doing really well to put you in this position, but two, for Brian Evans, he can kind of play around with the lineup and see what some of these guys have.
That one misses high from Vasquez, so Young's ahead 1-0 in the count. Young asked to change his walk-up song the other day, so I think this is his first at-bat with his new walk-up song. Misses high. He's coming out to Na 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 by Peggy Goo, which was not a name I was familiar with, but I heard from Ryder himself that he specifically requested it as his new song.
It sounded like a good walk-up song. Some of these guys have really good walk-up songs on this Riptide team.
That one skips in 3-0 count. What's your favorite walk-up song?
You know, I don't want to copy Andrew and say Luke Johnson. That's obviously a good one, but I don't know the name of it, but I like Jonathan Rodriguez's
He's got a good
walk-up song.
I'm definitely partial to Bradley Navarro, who comes out to Kids by MGMT. I like Camden Sauce. He comes out to SOS, which spells out the last name. That's pretty good. 3-1 count on Young. And Justin Tiller comes out with some reggae. I like the reggae. You know, it's fun to.
Yeah, that's a good walk-up song. And you know, Show Garcia was talking to me the other day. He also asked to change his walk-up song. I don't think we've got to see it yet, or heard it, I should say.
That one skips in. Young will take first on the 5-pitch walk. If he's not coming out to The Show Goes On by Lupe Fiasco, I feel like he's doing it wrong. Like, that feels like what you should come out to if your name is Show. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani does that for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, you could make the argument that's kind of an overused walk-up song, but I think for Show Garcia, that's an exception. You got to do it if that's.
For sure. I mean, Shohei's first name isn't even Show. It's Shohei. Show Garcia's first name is literally just Show. I mean, it feels like it's a match made in heaven. Justin Heffler getting his first ups here in the place of Carter Dans. He'll take a strike. So Young at first, one down here in the Riptide, up 10-1 in this ball game. Vasquez stares in for the sign, and Helfer's ready. Chops this one to third, could be 2. On to second in time for Young. On to first, not in time to get the speedy Heffler hustling down the line in a 9-run game. So 2 outs here. The Riptide do manage to keep this inning alive as Heffler reaches in place of Young. So that'll bring up Grant MacArthur, who is the only Riptide not to reach base. Got a chance to do that here and get off the schneid. Love to see Grant get going.
Yeah, Grant McCarthy looking to join in on the party. Like you said, 0 for 4 today.
Fouls this one off to the right side. MacArthur from El Cajon, California, down near San Diego. He went to Granite Hills High School. Fairly, northern San Diego. Played at San Joaquin Delta College after being part of the Riptide in 2023. Bounces in, nice block from Taguain, but the count will even at 1. Vasquez has looked pretty solid since coming into this game, especially given that he is a position player on the Philippines roster. Did do some pitching, though, for LA Mission Athletics last season. 1-1 here on MacArthur is taken high, so 2-1 count. The Riptide have struck out 9 times in this ball game, but 8 hits, 10 runs. They've walked and gotten hit by a pitch 8 times in this ball game, so they've been able to create base runners whenever you're walking or getting free passes as much as you're striking out. That's a pretty good day. That one catches the inner half, so 2-2 count on MacArthur. Runner on first is Heffler. In this 10-1 game that Orange County leads, trying to get to double digits for the first time this season. No run rule here in the CCL. We'll see the top of the ninth regardless. That one bounces in. It'll get away, and on to second goes Justin Heffler. No one's really moving at 100% right now, but Justin's definitely hustling around the base paths.
And that's exactly what you want to see if you're a coach. This game out of hand at the moment, but you want to see a guy who's going to give 110% regardless of the score, and that's exactly what Justin Heffler's doing right now.
So Heffler on second now. 3-2 count to MacArthur, trying to bring home a run and get himself on base for the first time today. Chops that one to the right side. Play goes off the glove. Heffler will hold at third. MacArthur reaches on the second error of the ball game for the Philippines, though the scorekeeper has given MacArthur a generous base hit. I'm sure Grant won't mind, and everyone's in pretty good spirits. So a base hit for Grant MacArthur.
I think, yeah, he'll take that. And there we go. Grant MacArthur joins in on the party, gets his first hit of today after going 0 for 4. Now runners on the corners here for the Riptide.
Not just his first hit of today, his first hit of the summer for MacArthur. So good to see him get going. Runs at the corners for Tyler Holland, who takes a strike down the middle. Holland 0 for 3 today, but he did walk and score back in the fifth. Down 0-1 in the count here. Vasquez deals. Holland sends that one towards left field. It's hit well. Chasing back. That ball is off the wall. In comes one run, and the Riptide are going to send home 2. Grant MacArthur cruises home after Justin Heffler on a wall ball double from Tyler Holland. Riptide up 12-1 in this ball game. That ball was crushed out to left field by Tyler Holland.
Another ball crushed and bounces off the wall. A great solid piece of hitting from Tyler Holland. Gave it a chance. Scores 2 runs. Riptide double digits. 12 runs, and they lead by 11 here.
So Marcos Rosales comes to the plate here. Still facing off against Nomar Vasquez. Riptide, as you said, up by 11 runs here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 down, Holland on second. That one catches the outer half. Sorry, go ahead.
Marco Rosales also having a good day today.
No, it's been a great day for so many of the Riptide hitters, and Marcos a big part of that, really busting out this summer. 1-1 count, and his first great day as an Orange County Riptide player. He's 2 for 2 already, scored 2 runs. He's walked twice. He's stolen a couple of bases. He's done a little bit of everything for the Riptide. What he hasn't done is driven in a run today. He's got a chance to do so here with Tyler Holland in scoring position. That one misses up and in, so 2-1 count on Rosales. Rosales loves steak and mac and cheese, so he's got pretty good taste in food and definitely might enjoy a victory steak. He'll fly this one out towards center. Coming in, the play is made by Tyler Prismanto. Riptide get a couple more. They're up 12-1 as we head to the ninth. Trey Telfer will be on to put this game to bed. Welcome back here, top of the ninth at the Great Park. Sam Evans alongside Aidan Pham on Riptide TV Network. Trey Telfer's on, and it is closing time. Though, of course, this game not within reach. 12-1 Riptide lead. Telfer looking to finish this one out. He'll face off against Stefan Leo, Jonathan Torrente, and Javen Baxa if there are no pinch hitters for the Philippines. 1-0 the count here as that one missed down. So the Riptide have just sort of dominated this game in all fashions. I mean, they've hit well, they've pitched well, they've played pretty good defense, 3 double plays tonight. That one grounded sharply. MacArthur had no chance, and it'll scoot into right field. Leo's got a leadoff single here in the ninth. But it's just been a great day for Orange County. Aidan, was there anything that stood out in particular for you?
I think one thing that I came into this game looking out for was if they took the lead early, how are they going to play leading? We obviously seen they've struggled in that categories in past games, but today really, after they took the lead, maybe they gave up that 1 run in the third, but really have played well ahead.
And taking the lead has been a trend. They've taken the lead in 4 straight league games here for the Riptide. They've won, if this one holds, they'll have won 3 in a row. So the only one that they blew after taking the lead was against this Philippines team. So things are really coming up all Riptide at a good time. Things are getting going after that 0-3 start. That one drops in there. Nice pitch from Telfer. 0-1 the count here on Torrente. Leo on first in this 11-run ball game.
I think a lot of that has to do with these guys are more comfortable with each other rather than the last week. It was kind of their first time playing summer ball for some of them. Now much more acclimated.
You know, they talked to us, Jace Binky and Dylan Nieto, about getting to know everyone and everyone's having fun, and that's exactly what you want to see for the Riptide. Two 2-1 count here for Telfer. He's worked his way behind Torrente after a first pitch strike. The runner on first is Stefan Leo. Telfer comes set and deals. That one misses up and in, so 3-1 count as Telfer struggles a little bit here to start off this frame. Three-one count now on Torrente. He takes that one. You know, I do apologize because that's Noah Rodriguez who's up right now in place of Torrente. He's the pinch hitter. So Rodriguez takes strike three, looking the fourth straight strikeout that Trey Telfer has been able to serve up here, three of which have been looking. So he's ahead. Now, one out in this inning, runner on first.
It's been a good night for Trey Telfer as well. Was given the loss in the Saturday game against the Philippines. But so far today, like you brought up, 4 strikeouts, 3 of them looking.
No, it's been a great performance here from Telfer, as it has for the entire Riptide staff. CJ Alinas, the pinch hitter, strolling to the plate now in place of Javen Baxa. Baxa was a late addition to the lineup. Nomar Vasquez was scratched pre-game and led to some lineup shuffling. JJ Fag from Sint moved up, Stefan Leo moved up, and Baxa came into the lineup, but he's been lifted now for CJ Alinas. So Riptide ahead 0-2 in the count here is Telfer. 1 out in this frame. Gets Alinas to go down swinging a 5th straight strikeout from Trey Telfer, who's really showing off the swing and miss that he can create.
Yeah, what a nice job by the rising sophomore after finishing his true freshman season at Indiana. Just 1 out away from closing this one.
Dylan Taguiam up here now as the Philippines are down to their last out. The Riptide up by 11 runs here. Runner on first is Leo. He's been there since the start of this inning. That one chopped towards third, but foul, so the game will continue for the moment. Trey Telfer gets himself back set here. I'm sure he'd love to strike out the side in back-to-back frames. So nothing in one here. That one taken on the outer half, so 0-2. The Riptide are a strike away from getting back to 500.
And what an exclamation point it would be if Telfer gets the strikeout here.
Trey Telfer keeping an eye on the runner. Make sure to keep fundamentals going. Leo at first. 0-2 count, 2 outs. Swung on and missed, and the Riptide win it. They sweep the Philippines away in a 12-1 victory. Your totals for the Riptide, 12 runs on 10 hits, 1 error. For the Philippines, just the solitary run on 7 hits and 1 error. Nathan Hellman gets the win for the Philippines. Franco Moran, or he gets the win for the Riptide. Franco Moran gets the loss for the Philippines. Aidan, any closing thoughts on this game?
I think we've touched on it multiple times, but can't stress it enough. It's an overall team win. The pitching was terrific. The bats were great. 10 hits, 12 runs tonight. It was an all-around big win for the Riptide, and they head to Arroyo Seco tomorrow with a lot of momentum.
First road trip of the year for the Riptide. You and Andrew Geisler will be on Riptide Radio. No TV for us tomorrow on the road at Arroyo Seco. We'll be back here on Riptide TV on Saturday night when the Saints come here to face off for the second straight ball game. You know, normally I like to give out a player of the game post-game. When it was such a complete effort like this, I think Brian Evans deserves manager of the game because he did a great job with this team. New lineup, and everyone raked. Everyone pitched great. It was a fantastic effort all around.
Evans certainly set up his guys in a good position. You know, it was a different lineup than we're used to, but man, did they do a good job today. And he did a nice job rotating guys in and out, giving them opportunities. And when they were able to get in the game, they did a nice job.
For sure. For all of us here at Riptide TV, Lonzo Rivero alongside Aidan, Pham, Sam Evans, thank you for watching. We'll be back on Riptide TV on Saturday night, Riptide Radio at Arroyo Seco tomorrow. Thanks for watching.